What's up, guys? You're listening to Argo Fox's most played releases of 2015.
Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are, as we see the lobby right now. But it's SOS 217 here today. I'm joined by Nito. Is that how you say your name? I actually didn't confirm before the stream.
I think it is
Nito?
how I say my name.
It is?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We're fine.
Are you sure?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Let me check my manager.
Sure. He's sure, folks. It's SOS. You know the rules. 3 rounds of pools, and we go into 4 different brackets. You got Great White and Hammerhead. I've never seen those brackets in my life, and I never will. And Mako and Lantern, which I see myself getting out the first, or if I'm lucky, the second round. So we got our first round match today. It's Quackers versus Los Inklings. And why don't you tell us a little about these teams if you know anything, Nito?
I know that seeing Devi on any team that isn't the Grillers is a rare sight, but unfortunately, it is the reality we're in right now. Shout out the Grillers. They have gotten into indefinite hiatus, but as a result, we're going to see Devi and Nigel, 2 of Canada's finest, on a team alongside Melodic and Bazin. We'll be basing my pronunciation of that word based on what I'm feeling, so we'll get that going. But Nigel actually won in Toronto-Roca, which is a land name that I'm going to fail to pronounce more than once. And then Los Inklings is one of the teams you have seen at least once in your Splat career, because Los Inklings has been around since the dawn of time and since Popgun's birth, which I'm sure are the same things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, every time I'd been playing a comp Splatoon, he and his great baldness was everywhere for me. So, great to see Los Inklings back out here. Hammy, my favorite Reflux player, they commented on one of my posts, which means they're cool, so I'm going to shout them out. But, yeah, I'm not going to say that they're one of the teams like Nito did. I was casting a little shade there, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see what's going to happen this game. But, yeah, no, Hammy, good friend. Talked to them a couple times. We see the map pool come up here. Splat Zones Umami Ruins is the first map. 2 zones for the only map I think the community likes that has 2 zones. I mean, I like it. I don't know about you.
I like Umami Ruins. I guess it's more of a neutral stance on it. What I do like about Umami Ruins is that it's pretty straightforward. You'll find the same thing with Hagglefish Zones. You'll find the same thing with Robo Ramen, although that one gives more leniency, more creativity as to what your team can do. Umami Ruins is pretty straightforward. Go straight to the other side, but it still offers lots of spots for skirmishes, battles that I think players on both sides will like, especially Nigel with that Carbon Roller, which is a weapon he plays exceptionally well. You're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah, well, I will say one thing. When I play a Carbon Roller, again, I play against a Carbon Roller on one of these maps. They tend to play Spine, and I tend to say things I can't say on this stream. But we're starting off right now. Firecrackers, those Inklings. Let's look at these weapons, and see what these guys have picked.
You can't say it on the stream. You can only say it once, though.
I only see it once. That's right. We actually block off the weapons for all of you guys at home. It's a little bit of a mental game, but yeah, a little bit of a scenic route here we're taking before we see the weapons. It's a great looking map. I love it, but seeing an interesting cop from the side of Firecrackers, and
well, you can't see the weapons. That's why we take them out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tactic known as the DC ones. You get a sense of their comp beforehand, and you kind of get to strategize for an extra 60 seconds, I guess.
Listen, you're given a replay. You might as well use it.
Yeah, exactly. Got to use all of the resources available to you. And, we're going to get ready to play this again, make sure the guy's connection is A-okay. Maybe some bind games early on, perhaps?
Well, I'm going to say right now that the comps you're seeing from Firecrackers are what you should expect from Firecrackers. First of all, the Carbon Roll I mentioned, the Brush that I mentioned, and also the Hydra that I mentioned, the #1 leader in Hydra crimes on the Ammo Knight's most wanted list. That was Devi. But on the other side, it's also more conventional. I mean, you said interesting, and that's fair if you're talking about Firecrackers. Los Inklings is going to be a little more conventional. You did see a heavy splatling, though. You don't see too much of the heavy splatling, but there is some utilization to it, and I think they're using it. Try to get that wave breaker to at least look out for the Brush and the Carbon Roller, which is respectable. You do want to do that.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, and some wise words from our producer here. Gotta ice him. Thank you, Pipe Dream DX in parentheses head researcher. I think that's a great, great at live. Sorry, he's also live right now. So really good calls from him. I personally agree. Ice him out. Try to get him thinking a little bit about the opening. I've done this once or twice, and sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's good that it happens. But can I get a paint check actually really quick? Can we get a? Oh wait, we've started the game. Never mind. My fault, guys. No paint check. We're gonna get right into it.
Oh man, yep, same comps you're gonna see from both sides, unless the application gets closed down. But otherwise, you're gonna see the same comp. No major changes here. Hammy's got the Milk Lux. It's called the Milk Lux. I'm pretty sure someone called it the Milk Lux at one point, and I'm stuck with that since.
Yeah, we're seeing an early play on Spine from Los Equals, trying to find a kill here. Let's see if he can go in, but he likes to fall back, but one goes down early on the left side, and now two on the Spine. It's a complete wipe immediately. Los Inklings caught with their pants down, proverbially, obviously, as we see Firecrackers slowly starting to take some space. The retake might be on, but they have resources to hold it. Devi taking a prime position up on Spine and is throwing the resources out accordingly. A bomb is coming in on Los Inklings, but are they going to be able to capitalize on it? It seems that Firecrackers throws their own to counter, but the bubble comes in at the base of Spine. One goes down, two goes down, three goes down. Just the back line left, and Los Inklings kind of struggling at the start here.
Los Inklings got their pants back on, proverbially, of course, but what they forgot was the belt, which is why they went 3 players down once again. Firecrackers have so much area control with all these specials and all these bombs, especially what Basin was able to do with that burst bomb. I mean, it's incredible what they're doing here. Devi, I've known for a while to be the best with making sure her front lines are still in check and are always accounted for, so no surprise that I'm seeing Devi do the same here.
Yeah, we're seeing another special come out on Firecrackers. Despite not having the space to paint, they're still able to get their special output, but losing that zone to a flank, but that's quickly going to be dispatched. The Carbon Roller, of all things, is actually taking the left zone. Never see that too often as 8 seconds tick down. The roller is dealt with, and just like that, game 1 goes in the favor of Firecrackers. Short and sweet, but certainly a very action-packed game, to say the very least.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, you are looking... It's one thing to say that it's just like a... It's one thing to say you're outclassed there, but it's another thing to say that it seemed like Firecrackers had every base covered. If this is a game in baseball, then congratulations. We opened up with a grand slam at the top of the first inning, and now you've got 8 more to go, so have fun, Los Inklings. Luckily, it's best of 3, so if it's a 2-out situation, we can at least move on, go right ahead, but Firecrackers have everything covered down pat.
Indeed they do. As a sports commentator who doesn't know what to say in this situation, I think Firecrackers wanted it more. But we're going to go to the next map here, Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge. Divisive map. Sometimes I like it when I get 15 kills, and usually when I get my 3 kills, though, really don't like this map. What do you think?
I think that when I get 15 kills or 3 kills, regardless of what the number is, I realize that I am probably playing a frontline weapon, and 15 to 3 can either describe my splats or my deaths, so who really knows? But either way, Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge is honestly one of my favorite map mode combinations. I think there's a lot more flank angles and a lot more opportunities for your team to create openings, and I always like maps that allow you to create openings. I think they're so fun to watch, and it's so fun to watch how these teams do it. This could be an opportunity for Los Inklings to finally look at Firecrackers and say, hey, stop hitting us. We're going to hit you back. And this time, we're not going to let you 3-0 us like triple on us like last time. I can't come up with the words.
That's all good. I struggle with my words too. I understand.
I get it.
I like the big long pillar in the middle, but that's like a big thing about this map that I really like, and the bridges that kind of connect to it. That's something that I always had trouble working around. So I'm curious to see how that kind of works out. But I do have to say, I did get something from the production booth, actually. Hammy said, I'm just setting up Yoshigod for failure on comms. Well, maybe he should worry about winning a game. Let's go into the next round now. As we see, is there any comp change from either side?
No, what about you? Yes, yeah, no, we see a Hydra coming out from the Risa on the side of Los Inklings, and then also Custom Blast. The rest of it seems just about the same, which, fair enough. You want to keep your distance from the absolute threat that is the front line from Firecrackers, considering the fact that you have a hammer that flies straight at your face and another hammer that flies straight at your face, except they're a Carbon Roller and a Octo Brush. So, yeah, good thinking.
Yeah, we see an early special coming out from the side of the Firecrackers and getting two immediately, trying to find the third one, excuse me, but the Booyah Bomb comes out as they retreat, goes onto the big pole in the middle, and not quite the effect that they wanted as they're inching closer and closer. Firecrackers setting up on the right side of the pillar, now pushing in as one of the Slayers. Let's see if they get a kill here, but they aren't able to. Goes back to that corner. Still trying to find something on that ramp, but just keeps getting pushed back by the Los Inklings. Right now, a little bit of a stalemate in mid.
And it's a surprising thing to see considering how quickly Firecrackers is able to get these openings at the beginning there. But when you have one player that was slug on the top of the screen there, drop down like that, that's immediately one opening that your team can benefit greatly from, because now that leaves your two front lines to just go and wreak havoc, but then they go down as well. Now everything starts to stall. That could be the key here for Los Inklings, just making sure you could bring everything to a standstill. That'll get you one step closer.
Exactly, but the bend don't break is starting with Los Inklings. They didn't give up, despite going down so many members, did not give up a score. And now Los Inklings is slowly closing in. You see Low Slug on Utah right now, trying to find a way in, but gets shut down by the Hydra Splatling. And all of a sudden, this push is looking a little unlikely, but they do get a ball in. It seems that Firecrackers was not expecting Hammy to move up that quickly. Let's see if they get that second ball in with the Hydra, able to get that one in. A 40-point push, and it looks like it's all over here as they start getting picked off one by one, and they're retreating back to their ramp. What a good first push.
And even better from Slug there. I'm not expecting you to stay in Utah for longer than like 10 seconds when you're playing against Firecrackers. That seems like something they should be able to sniff out quickly. But for you to keep that pressure there on Firecrackers, that is incredible to see.
Yeah, but the counter push now from Firecrackers coming in really quickly here. They're going to get a bunch of clams. They have a lot set up. No one's coming back for the pity, but they do have a respawn that should be coming in. They just have to hold the basket open. One goes down in Utah, but one's deep in spawn, and they catch one out on the grates. Walking in slowly. Now they have no frontline pressure in the front. No one picks up the pity. They get one more in before Devi dies, and they're getting maybe a couple more jumps. Get one or two more in there. I don't think so. That's the end of the push there. Very solid push from the Firecrackers.
First of all, you can't out-Hydra the Hydra criminal. Secondly, great stuff here from Firecrackers on the response. I mean, it's about as textbook as you can be with a counter push, and there's not much else to say on that end. However, I do like how you're spreading out Firecrackers here, because that means you're still getting to that win condition that I talked about earlier. Just make sure you're getting the front lines out of the way first, because then Devi and Bazin have to play with each other and make sure they can at least maintain some level of number advantage.
Yeah, I agree with you right now, but now we're seeing the Los Inklings kind of taking a positional advantage. They have a lot of control in mid, and they do have two specials online. Elect to use the bombs, and two of them go down. Oh my god, onto the Plat and Utah, but doesn't seem to get a lot of pressure off of it. They're trying to go through ramp, but they haven't taken it yet. Theresa trying to find one and ends up finding one. Can they find the second? No, they can't, but ramp is looking a little bit more open now, and Los Equals takes the initiative on there, gets one. Can they find the second? No, falls back, and they're still looking for that opening. They have their way into the floaty, excuse me, but still just trying to find a way in. And they get one down on Utah. Are they able to find the second? They do. Now should be the push. Now is the time to go. But no power clam. Wait a minute. Hold on. They have no power clam. Will the respawn pick it up? I think that is the plan right now.
One common mistake people make when going into the bank for the first time is that you need money to deposit, so you better have that money ready when you walk through the doors. And now they have even more money. If they can get this in, that's a lead. Wow, 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 wow. Los Inklings, you guys are doing so great. I sounded like one of those guitars off Rage Against the Machine. Shout out to Tom Morello, but my goodness, 34-30 remaining. Los Inklings have the lead.
It's a big I was not ready for that. That's a big lead right there. Huge push to get that power clamp together. Struggling a little bit to form it, but just kind of getting it in the nick of time. But now here comes the counter push from Firecrackers. We saw it earlier, but Los Inklings is able to recover, unlike last time. So they're going to need a little bit of some magic here to make it work. You see the Booyah Bomb come in. Now is the time to move in. The Brush trying to find one, does find one, but gets traded out by the Blaster. That is a wipe. This should be game if they're able to get the clams in time, and that is the clams. That is the game, and Firecrackers takes the game and takes the series 2-0, and we have one more on the way.
Just like when you go to the bank you need to make sure you have money. When the debt collectors come to your house, you better make sure you have the money. And Los Inklings did not have the money there. It just seemed like they quickly collapsed one by one to the point where anything, staggered or not, anything that had resembling a defense there, they just did not have. And Firecrackers quickly burnt that down and got the lead.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there from Los Inklings. You're seeing some of the replays here, but just unable to. Oh, that is. Well, that, grand finals of that tournament was amazing. I will say that it was a very good tournament. But yeah, just a great, great game for the Firecrackers. Can't say I'm a little bit happy after what Hammy said in the chat of this game, that they lost Los Inklings, but it is what it is. They get the final, as they go to the final map, Robo Robin. Yeah, it's a map that I really like a lot of close angles. It's one of those maps that I could use my tent and kind of shove it in there wherever I want, so it's pretty good. What do you think?
Well, Robo Ramen is similarly to what you said about Scorch. It's either one of the best maps to be on whenever I am in a great position to make a push. I'm already next to the clam on what would be Clam's Ramen. It's also the worst map whenever I see anybody try to sneak up this one ramp on the side. I don't remember the call out off the top of my head, but it sucks. It sucks. Just know that it sucks. That's the call out. It sucks.
We call it, I think I've always called it like the spawn ramp because it's closer to spawn. Is that the one you're talking about? That's closer to spawn? That's
I was thinking California.
California? Okay, now you gotta break that down for me. What the hell? California?
Yeah, because like it's a little like top part that's straight, and then it goes into a bigger part that's like the Southern California part. That's just something I came up with, but
Huh. I'm trying to visualize it. I'm sorry. My brain is a little slow. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can visualize that. I'm trying to think. I guess it does kind of look like California.
How about you think on that? I think on that. It was a best of 3 set, so we're probably coming back with round 2.
Oh, gotcha, round 2. Yeah.
The screen seems to be confirming what I've said there. Although, I think we've got time to yap.
We do have time to yap. I think we do. Yap. Man, how's your day going? It's
been fantastic. I got work done. I got homework done. I got schoolwork done. I distributed credit card information of mine to other people online.
That's always a good thing. Got to get that credit score up. Open up more. I'm a business manager here, folks. Open up more lines of credit by giving your credit card out, and if you keep paying that credit card bill, you'll get a higher line of credit, which will make your credit score better. So think about it that way, folks. Credit card fraud might not be that bad.
Really, not that bad if you think about it.
It's not that bad if you think about it.
But you know what I do like more is all the Splatoon 3 we've had in the last week. We've had like 3 different lands happen, all the weeklies that come up, and yet we still have the rest of this Swimmer Sync tournament. I know it's a weekly, but it's still a lot to look forward to, especially the team names. Okay, let's talk about the team names real quick. Solar Frequency, understandable. 20 hot dogs in a trench coat, question mark. So there's some uncertainty in this name is what I'm sensing.
Well, I mean, if you go to the movies, you're kind of hungry, you need a snack. I mean, that's the go-to, is it not? I mean, personally for me, I look at good hot dog while I'm watching the new Iron Lung movie. That's the big one I know the kids are talking about. I got you guys. I'm tapped into the culture right now. But this is not financial advice. I'm sorry. Are we getting dissed by, hold on, what is your name again? Pipe Dream DX, head researcher? This is not an expedition?
This is not an expedition.
Producer, what are we doing? I'm giving out the best financial advice in the world. What is this? But 20 hot dogs in a trench coat. I'm telling you, that's a good name.
I'm not really qualified to give...
No! What? Boss! Are we going to have beef?
We already do. It's the 20 hot dogs. There's the beef.
You don't know if they're beef hot dogs, though. That's the thing. They could be pork. You don't know. Are we gonna have beef, what? Producer? I'm telling you, if we're gonna have beef, pools of see, he switched up real quick. You see?
But wait. What are non-beef hot dogs like?
I mean, it's like pork. I mean, like, let's look. Can you have non-beef hot dogs? Let's look this up. Can you have non-beef hot dogs?
I'm sure you can see it. I'm sure you can have non-beef.
Okay, this is according to Gemini, so
oh god,
feel free to say no. Yes, numerous non-beef hot dog options are available, including poultry, chicken and turkey, pork, and plant-based varieties. So you can't have a different, but I think the most common one is beef. I think, right? Most hot dogs are pork. Who the fuck is the Oh, sorry, excuse me. Who is the commentator here? I'm sorry. Who's the commentator here? That's my...
Anybody who... Anybody who wishes to have a voice on this stream is a commentator, and so that's why I believe that whoever's the Pipe Dream DX, the head researcher, comma parentheses ellipsis live, is a commentator because of the voice that is being expressed right now.
I think this is the most. I think Pipe Dream head researcher might be my favorite and least favorite producer of all time. Because I like that he's putting his voice and his votes out there. You know, I appreciate that. But why is he against me, you know? Why does he not like me? I don't understand that much. Why don't you like me? Pipe Dream DX.
They don't like you or they don't like me? Because they sounded about the same.
No, they like you. I think they like you. But I don't think they like me. You know?
Well...
I'm just fact-checking you? I don't need a fact check. I'm looking it up on Google right now.
There is... No, well, you were looking it up on Google. There was also Gemini that was giving you some assistance, like a little boost up. And I think that's what we're trying to fact check here.
Okay, you know what? Let's look this up. What are most hot dogs made of?
Grit, determination, and strength.
Are made for... Okay, but what kind of meat? I swear, these like... Google is just like sometimes, man. Okay, it doesn't say which kind of meat. Oh my god, there's like
whatever meat you want it to be.
I guess.
Look up a Fairberry hot dog. That's just a red pole.
Okay. Let's see. Fairberry hot dog. How do you spell that?
Fairbury.
Bury.
It's just a red pole.
Hot dog. What is it made of? Beef. It's made of beef.
That does make sense.
So, I mean, by your... I don't know, man.
It's red.
It's red, yeah. Most hot dog... I guess pork ones are pink. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, because I make pork hot dogs sometimes.
Most of them are pork.
I just don't agree. Just put the hot dog in the bag, man. I'm not... What is this? What is this sass? What is this sass that I'm getting all of a sudden? What? Dude. Pipe Dream DX head researcher live? What the... Say something about Nito. Say something about him.
I'm on... well, I mean, you could say... there's a lot you could say about me, to be fair. And I'm sure most of it's pretty good.
Nito is too... Oh my god! Okay, sorry.
I mean, I don't see any lies. I'm pretty freaking adorable.
I'll calm down. I'm a little upset by the impartiality here. I don't like that the producer is taking a side now. It's really hurting my feelings.
Is it really a side?
I mean, they have fact-checked me. They have not fact-checked you once. We're starting Just Talk. Oh, shoot. Oh, I forgot. They just joined the room. All right.
We had a tournament.
Solar Frequency and 20 hot dogs in trench coat.
Question mark.
I don't know any of these people. Do you know any of them, Nito?
That's a good start. I know a decent amount of both of them. I know that we see a lot of Ivy in the lower level circuits. I think there's a lot of appearances from the Ink up here. So there's certainly some... I like seeing the amount of experience that a player like that could bring. And then also Solar Frequency is a team you're going to see a lot bouncing around in comp. I know they've mainly been doing upper level, not open level, open. What? They play in tournaments.
They do. You know, your paddling pools, your SOSs like we're playing today, you know, all the ones that are really cool. Not saying the ones I didn't say aren't cool. I just can't think of them off the top of my head right now.
Last time they were in Swimmer Sync, they went 22nd, and that was last week. So man, you've got something going for you here.
Last time I played SOS, I think I finished like 57th or something. I think that's like dead last, pretty much. So doing better than me, you know.
Yeah,
it's a high bar.
Last time I played Swimmer Sync was I don't even remember anymore. I got 9th once.
You did?
Yeah.
Ah. That's why you're on color commentary. I'm on the play-by-play.
Because it's just because I yap. I yap way too much for my own good, and so I decided to make it a profession.
Are we all just trying to make a profession out of this? We got Hagglefish Zones, that one big box in the middle, the 2 flanks, which if you are on a comp team, no one likes to call out, and the random carbon roller will triple kill you. I'm looking at you, my land team, Guwapa, Zach. I'm watching you. What do you think about this map?
Hagglefish Market is, I don't want to call it, I know there's people online that call it like a very bread and butter map. And there's probably maps that are going to be adjoined to that adjective more, like Inkblot. But Hagglefish Market's very simple. Just go straight. Like, it is just a straight line. But it does still make for lots of fun. It does make for fun matches. I mean, the fact that it's all straight and the fact that it's still all close quarters means it does force interactions between both teams. So you're going to see a lot of fighting no matter what.
I completely agree with you. You know, a lot of close quarters combat. I think it's the geometry of the map, as they say, that really elevates it. It's not just a straight line in some aspects. I think, you know, you got your bridge, which is the elevation. I think this one has more of the geometry and the boxes around the map that make it more and more interesting as we are getting into it. And we got 10 seconds to game start. You know, how do I know that? The voice is in my head. Oh, look at that. Great call from me. Let's see what the comps are.
All right. Well, these are some of the best names I've seen. There's a Nozzle Nose, which actually I like the Nozzle Nose pick, and then I like the Torrance Hydra pick because you don't see Torrance Hydra at all. I think the Bubbler on that Hydra is a fantastic choice, but we're gonna see how that plays out here.
Yeah, that extra 1 damage going to be doing big numbers here as they get the first kill. What a great first kill. And a second one coming in from the Charger, putting in the immediate pressure onto 20 hot dogs in a trench coat. They're probably reaching to get one right now to get some extra health to try to fight through these ramps as they keep going down. The pressure keeps mounting. Trades coming in that are not in favor of the 20 hot dogs in a trench coat. The cooler comes down. What a electric start from Solar Frequency.
Well, it's met with an electric double, electric boogaloo, if you could say, a Splat 2 electric boogaloo as they boogaloo their way onto the zone. They might actually be able to capture this. Brock is doing excellently with this zap here. What do you mean you've never seen a Slayer zap before? It's right in front of you, and I think it's doing excellently here.
Yeah, that extra accuracy buff that came in a couple months ago is really doing wonders for them right now as we see them trying to find a way through the ramps. The Brush is looking around but is unable to find a way in, and all of a sudden the momentum is shifting in Solar Frequency's favor. Is that a double from the Zuka? I think it is. I can almost hear the VC of 20 hot dogs in a French coat now. Not too happy, I'd assume, for after that.
These hot dogs are getting a little cold, and I think that's what's going on here. Okay, 2 of them already go down, and part of it's because that Ink Brush is getting a little too ambitious with that flank on the side there. But what it does mean is that Solar Frequency has to like force themselves into backing off and just waiting for the right opportunities to do that. But then Shieni comes in with a double, and then you kind of start to question what might happen next.
Yeah, huge double there, but they are able to catch one out and Spawn that was hanging around for a little bit too long. Let's see if this Carbon can get another clutch play. Not quite sure. They're still up. Oh, actually, they're down now. Excuse me. They got dispatched them quite quickly on their block as they once again regain control. 20 hotdogs in a trench coat, looking to get a bigger hold now. The Brush this time around able to find the nozzle nose with ease and looking to push up into ramps. No, they want to dispatch this flank first, but I think they're going to get away. Oh, a little unlucky on the aim there, just out of reach. But the left side flank with the dualies getting another kill, and that's just the what is happening? A skirmish, a brawl. I can't keep track of it all. What a fight in mid.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I like about Hagglefish, is that everyone's going to go to mid at some point, and then we're all going to see this complete deathmatch that makes you forget what the objective of the game is. So I like that we're seeing all of it already. And then here comes the Nozzle Nose, which is a fantastic pick, by the way. I always like the niche picks that come out from teams, but Solar Frequency still holding things down. And even when they don't hold things down, they know exactly where to find those picks, because sometimes the picks just come to them.
Yeah, those picks were coming to them and coming in at a great time. Solar Frequency taking that one in a brawl, a bar fight, if you will, in mid. That really solidified this win for them. What a great match to watch. That was crazy. That was a crazy first match. Just an all-out, I felt like at the end there, just an all-out, just fist fight pretty much in mid. Just random 1v1 sprinkled around. That was awesome.
Well, that's a hot dog. I guess that's a little too hot for the hot dogs this liking, but Solar Frequency playing with the best, really is part of the best, and also part of the fact that 20 hot dogs in a trench coat is unfortunately falling into the same area where the carbon roller is, and where the nozzle nose happens to be, and where the zap happens to be as well. And so all the pencil needs to sit back and all the pencil needs to do is sit back, farm pencil, and then just wait and see what comes out of 20 hot dogs in a trench coat. And it seems like all the hot dogs are falling out of place, and it's all chaotic. It's a mess. I'm not cleaning it up though.
Me neither. I wouldn't be cleaning that up, but I will give them credit for one thing. I was talking earlier about how the flank can be so deadly if your teammates don't call it out. These guys, they did call it out, and they did get rid of them. So that's a big brain move from them right there. Great communication. That's how you know the comms are flowing for them. So who knows? Maybe a little bit of a rebound as we go to Rainmaker, Monte Maria. Not my favorite pick, but certainly, a map that challenges you vertically, to say the very least.
A lot of vertical challenges there, especially if you are the right, and even if you are the right height for this ride. It is a wild ride indeed, and if you're Mr. Bones, you want to be let off the wild ride. But Manta Maria does at least provide some help for Solar Frequency now that you have a carbon roller. That all they need to do now is just sit in court and wait for somebody to drop down, which is what you've been doing already. 20 hot dogs in a trench coat has to come in this and say, well, they can't really afford to do that now, can we? They really can't.
They can't. Because if they do, if you guys at home want to do the math at home, 1 + 1 = 2, and it takes 2 to win the set. So think about it that way. Right. Some quick maths for you guys back at home. But I will say, Monte Maria, shout out to my short kings out there, who do feel very vertically challenged on this map, especially the Inklings. Like, proportionally to the map, they're quite small, aren't they?
They are a little small. At least, you know what? I think the coolest part, noticing the changes from this map from Splatoon 3 to Splatoon 2, is seeing how big everything gets. And it's something that I didn't know I was taken for granted until I played Splatoon 2 a while back, and I realized, why is everything small? I don't know. Everything seems bigger now, but it also doesn't. It's weird.
Everything is bigger. I was actually playing it with a couple of my old S2 teammates from back in the day. Shout out Infa. But yeah, no, everything is a lot bigger in this game as we're going into map 2. Let's see if there's any comp changes. Oh, we see the Rapid Blaster come out, and more of the same, just no L3 this time.
Switching to the Paintbrush Nouveau instead. That is double cooler, by the way, from Solar Frequency. So you've got a fairly steady cooler with the Viper Blaster, and then you've got, who knows knows what will happen, Cooler, with the end zap on the other side, but Lloyd popping around to the other side. There was a good play in mind, but then you lose all 4 of your players and you start to wonder where it all went wrong. It was a gutsy play, though, and I like the Solar Frequency starting to come out with that right at the start.
A little a la hyper dive there. Not too worried about taking the fight early on. Unfortunately, it doesn't go out in their favor. Now, all of a sudden, the pressure is mounting. 20 dogs in a hot dogs in a trench coat, piling on the pressure, throwing the dogs at them, but they're able to stop the push just before they drop down and get a couple extra points. That rapid blaster dispatching. I don't think so, actually. The blast gets them, but the quick pickup is to no avail. They lose the Rainmaker, and slowly they are falling back and getting picked off.
And the one part 20 hot dogs would have wanted to see is to see that Rainmaker go into no man's land, because once you drop from that ledge, the game becomes a much different game once you get it past that ledge. I've noticed that was every time I've played Mandabury Rainmaker there. So 20 hot dogs will look to try to get that past that spot next time. But Solar Frequency, they've come back from positions like this before. I'm sure they're calm and collected here. They know what's going on. See, there's already a pick. We're doing fine. We're doing fine, guys.
Yeah, that's going to be the comeback is on right now as they're going to get the first check. Are they? Ooh, just barely misses the shots, the end zap, and that might be dangerous because look at this. They have all of the control right now. They're going to be able to drop this, I think. The brush comes in, but no, just before they take the lead. Oh my God, such a close lead, and all of a sudden now, are they going to be able to pop it? They'll let them pop and try to take back this way. The squid roll of the century. That's going to be 18 points remaining on the side of Solar Frequency, and that's probably going to be the lead and maybe potentially the game.
I mean, you got the Rainmaker to no man's land, and then once again, that squid roll was fantastic. You needed it. And it's very rare to see the Squidberry pulled off, and it's barely noticeable there, but you notice it pulled off against the Hydra there. And you get it to no man's land once again. It's great that you're still, even after losing huge numbers there, it's great that you're still able to get it that far into enemy territory. So great job from Solar Frequency here, who might have another opportunity to do it again, actually. And they do. A few more points. Can you get it on the...
Hey, there we go. That's going to be the game for Solar Frequency. Wow, that's happened a lot of times. You know, you're just so close. You're just, you're on the edge of the Rainmaker podium. You're just trying to, slam it down, and unfortunately, so just can't get it down. But good job for them. They are able to get it down and able to take the set 2-0. Wow, a little early scare, but able to stave off the fears.
Yeah, it's a little. The thing about Solar Frequency.
Oh, go ahead.
I said yeah a lot, so I don't blame you for trying to get into another train of thought. But Solar Frequency ultimately getting the win there because I think there was just a bit of confidence I was noticing from them. Just like, all right, yeah, okay, we go down, we lose this many points. They're leading by a lot. Whatever. Is what it is.
Well, I don't know about you, Nito, but I need a beverage. I need some kind of beverage, at least, to get the throat a little bit more wet and ready to keep going in for some more commentaries. So we're going to get a short break while $3.42 in Jam get into the lobby. So I don't know about you, but let's take a little break here, shall we?
I think so. Sounds good. You know what's the best way to spend your Wednesday night? The answer is with us. We've got a whole tournament called Swimmer Sync that happens almost every Wednesday. And a good example of this is the match we have right in front of us, say, matchup between $3.42, also known as the change in my pocket, versus Jam, the stuff in my pantry.
Yeah, really interesting matchup here. I'm noticing, I think that's an imposter on Team Jam. Is that a Yoshi on that? Can we tell him he can't have that name? Or them, or whoever they are? That they can't have that? That's me. That's me. I don't know about that. But I've actually watched Jam, believe it or not. I've watched them a little bit back in the day. Not back in the day, back in the day like 2 weeks ago. I watched them when I was casting the Mako market. It's not Mako, sorry, but Mako bracket. I almost said Lantern bracket semifinals. And I gotta say, solid team. It's cool to see them here. But I don't know about Yoshi. I don't know about you, Nito, but I don't know about these guys.
Well, Yoshi is a character, I think, from Yoshi's Island, which is a good guess to make for me to make. But looking at the side of $3.42, Coastline is going to be from Michigan State, their collegiate Splatoon team. I believe it is one of like 15,000 MSU teams. Sadro and Peaches are going to be from Rewind, and Oxy is from Crisis Averted. So about the same skill level you'd experience against a team that quite literally was Div 7 last season.
Yeah, well, I just got to say, for all the MSU fans out there, go blue! But let's go. Well, look like I also got double roller, which I have not seen in a while. Oh my god! And we have more of a conventional comp compared to the double roller here. I have not seen that in a while. That Dynabow buff, I think, is probably influencing that choice a lot as we get into the first contact on the zone. As we see these guys, the $3.42 here trying to play through the left side, able to get that early cap, but that's not going to last too long as they're trying to find a way through right side. They get a trade there, and the Dynabow gets one, and they're going to get the second one. The backline is going to get pushed back here by the Dynabow roller. They're going to have that's at two, but unfortunately unable to take that advantage of that, as $3.42 have a pretty good hold on zone right now.
I mean, I'm not surprised to see it. It looks like two comps that were made after like two separate periods of Splatoon, one before and after the huge Dynamo buff. And I'm not surprised to see this Bow Dynamo comp. I've seen people trying to experiment with it online. Naruto and Fox wanted to make one, so I was like, all right, why not see it here live in an actual comp play? And it seems to be doing fairly well. I mean, you're up to 29 remaining. It seems to be doing just fine, actually.
Exactly, but as we know, with Mahi zones, the water level is falling, and the map does change quite a bit. A lot more turf to work with for both teams here, as $3.42 had to retake zone quickly. Unfortunately, they had to lose it, so they do have to take on that 40 point or so penalty to win the game right now, but they're firmly in the lead. They have the resources, and they're holding on to Izuka more importantly. So if they start to retake, there will be a chance to use it. But Frieza says no thank you and uses their own Zuka to try to find another one, and they're able to do so. Are they able to find one more? Yes, they are. Frieza with the triple. All of the aura maxing, as they say on TikTok. And just like that, they are pushing in and finding more, Jam.
This sure is quite the 6-7 experience they were hoping for, which I'm pretty sure is the wrong way of using it, which is why I'm using it that way. But 50 remaining for Jam, but $3.42 trying to get themselves back into the game. What's the best way to do it? With this Dynamo getting it, helping out with a double, and then eventually goes down. But I like this sort of... I like the play that we have here. We actually have the Forge Pro leading. You don't see a Forge Pro in the front lines as much as you may expect, but believe me, it is a weapon that can still play just as fast as a Splash Shot, just with a little bit more range. So I'm glad I'm seeing it being used in that way.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot of versatility with that particular shooter as the trades are coming in. That was not a good trade for Jam, though. They go down two as opposed to $3.42. It goes down as one. The Carbon trying to find one more, almost gets picked off, but is able to walk back. And the Blaster and the Dread are starting to move in, but quickly dispatched by $3.42, getting a lot of mileage out of that small amount of money. And just like that, that's game one.
$3.42 actually gets you pretty far. Shout out to public transit. But $3.42 works pretty... I think the comp working out very well in their favor because it seems like they're focusing mainly on weapons that the first three weapons, the rollers, the Forge Pro, and the bow are all weapons that are going to chip off of. All going to deal chip damage. So what do? You go in with a huge freaking Dynamo hammer thing, and then you just finish the job with it. And I like that. That's kind of the idea that I'm seeing from $3.42. That's why it's working so well in terms of picks. They're very efficient there.
I completely agree. It was a very efficient game for $3.42. Did not seem to relinquish any of the control. Just for the viewers at home, if you do have $3.42, if you go to Walmart.com, you can buy great value butter, great value sugar, and you don't have public transit around you. Obviously, is something you could spend on it. Instead of that, you get all-purpose enriched flour. So a breaking project at an affordable price. We're not sponsored by Walmart, but I will say, get a lot of mileage for that $3.42 there. As we go to a map that my first Splatoon 2 team was named after, Inkblot Tower Control.
Inkblot Tower Control. Now here's when we get to the bread and butter, because this is a map mode combination as old as time. And truthfully, if you're going to try to fight a comp like $3.42, you're going to want to spread yourselves out a little bit more, which is why Jam didn't work out as much. I mean, you obviously got the Reef Slider, not going to work out too well for you. It's a conventional comp, but the word conventional has changed after the Dynamo buff, so I want to see what they come out with after this one.
Yeah, and the voices in my head tell me once again the game is starting. Look at that, guys. Such a smart individual I am as we're getting into round 2, map 2. Reminder for those at home, 1 + 1 does equal 2. If $3.42 wins, they move on. If Jam wins, we get a game 3, as we see not much of a shift from either side whatsoever. And yeah, I mean, more of the same. We'll see how this pans out as they start the opening. Really conservative so far from $3.42, although that pro is looking to make a play early. So is that blaster, who gets quickly dispatched by the AoE options, and they're finding them one-on-one. $3.42, just kind of finding them on their own and picking them off. They are quickly dispatching Jam.
It's so hard to win a one-on-one against $3.42 because of the weapons they have. I mean, we just saw a Dynamo and a Forge Pro go up against one of them. Then one of them I believe the roller backed off, but then Forge Pro is able to at least get the trade. You're not going to fully win a fight against $3.42 unless you happen to get off something like that, like they just happened to get earlier on. So you do need to play your cards right when dealing with this team. You do need to play more together.
Well, $3.42 will not get you Jam at Walmart. That is probably why they're so infuriated and taking it out on Jam right now as the trade comes in quite quickly. On the block, they're trying to take more space through it, but unfortunately not able to find it. They will get it to the checkpoint, but not much more, it looks like, as Jam is trying to stay in, but is unable to. There's 2 in mid right now. They keep the control. It's a little odd right now. They're kind of playing towards mid, but there's not a lot of control for either team, it feels like. And the Carbon just, okay, the trade from the Carbon right there. Is there going to be a flank from the Dreadringer? Unfortunately shut down, and that is a white for $3.42.
You're not going to win a 1v1. You're much less likely to win a team fight. Oh my goodness, look how far the Dynamo was going up there. That is a gutsy play by the Dynamo, and I love that you're doing that. I want to see a little bit more of it. Here's a little bit more of that, but it doesn't work out as well just because he didn't have much to work with there. It was a on-the-spot jump that you had to make. Fair enough. But $3.42 pulling out all the stops with that Dynamo because they know Dynamo is the weapon to have right now.
Yeah, Dynamo seems to be the weapon to have right now. Apparently, Carbon Roller, too, they try to get another flank up, but unfortunately unable to move quickly. But the Dynamo, again, oh my god, I can almost imagine the calls in VC right now. Could not be too happy after that one. Dynamo sharking to find one more is unfortunately point censored out and going to have to rotate out of that position quickly as Jam tries to take more space through the left side with the pencil and Dread combination. They're low, but they're not finding the kill. Oh my god, Dynamo unfortunately misses, but does not matter. They do find the kill with the Carbon Roller, and now they're going back up on block and trying to divert the attention of Jam closer to their spawn, allowing for their team to take more space.
A great stop, and I like the positioning that you've got here now. Look at where the Dynamo is. We're going to stick that Dynamo in the exact same spot. I like that call there. That's bats is one of the best places to be if you want to start locking things down on this map. So great call from $3.42, also known as the change in my pocket, and maybe better once you have everyone up.
Well, it seems that Nito's a very rich man. I do not have $3.42. I actually found a towel tag in my pocket. But as we see Jam trying to retake here, trying to do things a little bit differently, maybe try to find a couple before they go in, but that is not going to happen. 3 go down immediately, and all of a sudden, the change in Nito's pocket, a very rich man, keep in mind, is going to go and just destroy them, quite frankly.
I'm a college student, so thinking that I am rich is a very, very optimistic guess. However, it doesn't take optimism for $3.42. They are losing numbers, but keep in mind that this tower has been in roughly the same spot for a while now. It's not until Jam gets this wipeout that it's starting to move out of this little corner here. And that's one thing to keep in mind because of how much $3.42 was able to do, despite the fact that they're going down one by one, it seems, every other 10 seconds. So lots to keep in mind there for Jam.
Yeah, it's a back and forth affair. I feel like when one team starts to push in, they immediately get wiped, and we have another push, and it keeps going back and forth like that. And I will say to the people at home who don't have as much money as Nito as $3.42, remember, your net worth is your net worth, as Jam is able to find 3 kills. And now here comes the push from Jam. This should be big right here. They're up 3. Are they able to find more space, get a trade onto bats, and Carbon is unable to find one, but is quickly traded out by the Dread, and all of a sudden they might have space in bats. The Dread just needs to find one more. Can they find them? They do. That's aura maxing, as the kids would say, but the Dynabow comes in, and just like that, folks, that's going to be $3.42, taking the game and taking the win.
Hopefully, viewers, you learned a valuable lesson within the first 4 minutes of the game, is that never count out $3.42, no matter how far or how many players they lose in the process, because they will come back, and this was no exception. I like that $3.42 was able to come back after a great deficit like that, but it's also not a surprise. So great stuff there to round out the group stage.
Yeah, a really good way to round out the group stage. $3.42. Going to be very, very happy. Jam just unable, to be able to take that. Just 11 points away. I can't do math. Just unfortunate way to end the game. But at least we learned something today, Nito. You know what that was?
What is it?
Your net worth is your net work. Where can they find you, Nito?
Good question. I think you can find me, Nito Unused, at bsky.social, and on Twitch, Nito Unused, in the rare occasion I do stream. I have streamed, and we either have a match after this or we don't.
Oh, we don't. I'm so used to having just the group stage, and that's completely it. Do we have a match after this? Can stream coordinator? FYI, you're doing one more comp set. Oh my God, Nito. I was gonna get separation anxiety if they put us apart like that. I really enjoyed my time with you, man.
It happens. It's not the first time I've heard that. That's totally fair.
That's totally fair. That's all. It's just fair.
No, I get it. I understand. I sympathize with you, and that's why I am going to say that Great White Bracket is up next. Lots of action to come from that. The best of the best from Swim or Sink.
Yeah, we need to sort out our feelings here. So are we going off to a break, or?
I suppose we could, because apparently there's some things we need to talk about.
We do. We need to talk about our feelings. I'm really hurt right now, and we need to talk about it right now.
Fair enough.
Cut the mic, Pipe Dream DX, head researcher. Cut the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, or whatever you are all around the world, we have a slight hiccup here. One of our groups is running a little bit late. So in lieu of just not having you guys sit here and watch that Great White is coming up next, which it will, so stay tuned, we're going to go podcast mode. So this is the SOS podcast. It's like the podcast, but I'm not bald. And joining me today is Nito. Nito, how you doing today?
Who's Nito?
That's the first question, Nito. Who are you, Nito?
Whoa, wait. Okay, so let me figure this out because I don't actually know this myself, but this is an experience. So I am a wonder and a joy to be around.
Would you say your friends think that?
I sure hope so, and I'm gonna ask every single one of you, so better watch out.
And would you think that, like, if your friends didn't like you, you would be sad, maybe?
I would ask them to drop and give me 20, and then I would follow that up by saying I will take cash or check. So really, you owe me.
So would you say that, like, your friendships are more of, like, a financial commitment?
I wouldn't say a financial commitment. I would just say that they should have read the fine print.
So you got to sign a contract to be friends with you?
I wouldn't say that a contract is necessary. I'm just saying that when I ask you for your signature, that you might want to do some investigation before you sign on the dotted line.
Well, you heard it here first. Nito is actually using your signature to get you in a contract you know nothing about to loan shark you. That's why they call it Great White, guys. That's why they call it Great White.
I mean, aren't we all trying to loan shark one another? It happens.
I think loan sharking is a beautiful thing.
I think, yeah, you're right. You're right. And you're the business major, so I think you have more experience talking about this. I am merely a journalism major.
I mean, so you report the news and I make the news. Is that what I'm hearing here?
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, you can make news. I will, like, write it down and hope somebody reads it.
Well, I mean, wait, so do you, like, write for somebody? You write for somebody right now? Actually, let's not ask that. I don't want you to dox yourself. I just realized that might be a doxing question, folks. That's not something we want to do here. You know what? I have a question for you, Nito. You know, like, how did you get started in Splatoon? Let's start there. How did you get started in this? Like, what way did you do this? Like, why? You know? Back
in my day, we had a ancient forum called Squidboards, and I already owned Splatoon then. And I didn't really have anyone else to play it with because nobody else owned Splatoon, even though they had Wii U's, but they didn't get the game. So,
are you saying you had no friends?
I'm saying I had friends, just not with Splatoon. That was a very different distinction to make. And yes, the friends that I did have did sign on the dotted line prior to learning what the signature was for. So
I get you. That makes sense.
What we eventually ended up doing was going on Squidboards and finding a competitive end quote team. And that's how I got my start into competitive Splatoon, because eventually that team disbanded and then I started going into different teams. And now the ball and chain is back here.
I see. That's very different from me. I will say that much. I'm a pandemic player. I started in the pandemic, early 2019, 2020. Yeah, I got into it. I replied to this post from this team called Lunar Tide. Shout out Lunar Tide, by the way. Hate those guys. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I find this forum, right, and it's by this guy. I don't know if you guys know this guy. This guy's name's Infa. He's the antagonist of my story. All right, let's set some stage. Right, antagonist Infa. All right, so just remember that. All right, you get me. So I try out for his team, right, and I play Luna Blaster and I slay out. All right, I just slay out in a league battle because I was like S2 back then. I slay out and he invites me to the team. But he looks at me and he's like, Yoshi, I like that you get a lot of kills and you're so awesome. His words, by the way.
Okay.
But Luna isn't meta. So you have to play end zap. And you have to learn how to armor farm. So for 3 months of my life, I sat there, I painted the ground, getting emotional, and I farmed those armors, and he kept saying, farm more, and then I left. That's how I got into Splatoon. You know?
Well, there you go. That's nice. I like that.
And now Info captains Paradigm Starfish, and he's an off meta. He loves off meta. He actually recruited Noir, who is a Luna one trick. I just want to point this out. He recruited a Luna one trick. What is this? Was I not good enough? Nita, was I not good enough?
Well, that's a very loaded question. Now, let's go ahead and review the other things that could have happened here, like a massive oversight or buffoonery, even. These are all things that could have led us here. There's
a lot of things. There is a lot of things that could have led us here. It's honestly like, I don't know. I don't know if I could ever trust Info ever again. I coached him for a year, but like I don't know if I could trust him again. You know.
Fair enough. I mean, I think you ought to have that conversation with Info and see where that trust is nowadays, because I'm sure, given all the changes made to Luna Blaster.
Let me DM him.
DM? You can DM.
DM him.
We have.
Do you love me, Info?
Right, wow. Okay.
We'll find out. We're gonna find out. That's for you people at home. This is the viewer retention that we're gonna keep, right? It's an ongoing question. Does Info like me? As we see our photos on the screen. I do have a photo, actually. So, Nino, yours is drawn by Moku. I know that because I have a profile drawn by Moku. Shout out. What is it? Well, let's get their at. So I know how to shout. Like I don't shout out. Like it's Moku Draws, I think. But let me get it really quick. It's at Moku Draws 1020.bluesky.social. The commissions are open. So calm them. They're pretty cool. I'm sure you like yours. Yours has got an animal on it. I didn't get an animal on mine.
Oh, that's my cat. His name is Paper, and he is an absolute buffoon sometimes, but he is adorable.
I love cats. Oh, we got a response from Info. I'd say I'd pay for a plane ticket if you'd ever needed it, and I have some money, so that's a friend. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. We're still good friends.
Prove it. Buy a plane ticket right now.
Can you buy me one right now? But yeah, no, we love Info. But yeah, so no, I got mine drawn as well. Mine's a little different than yours because yours has a cat on it. Mine is just me with my hands up. I asked her to make it look like troll-like because I make a lot of troll posts. What do you need it for? Something. Okay. I'm killing time on SOS broadcast right now. We are doing a podcast. Okay. But like I got mine, like it's pretty cool, so you should get one from them. They do a transparent one like Nito has. They also do a black or a white one. I think you could do any background. I'm sure you could just ask them. They do any background. It's pretty cheap as well. I think it was like $5, I think, right? That's all it is. It's pretty affordable too.
I will say Moku did mine for free. I don't remember. It was during Riptide. Because I know I came back home and then I saw the Moku drawing this and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll put that on my profile picture place, and it's been there ever since. So once again, shout out Moku, you're doing a great job on these. But $5 a piece, I might have to pay back the favor at some point, just because I feel like doing it out of the kindness of my heart, because I am a very kind person.
Exactly. I think you should. I paid $5 for mine, and then I met them at Anarchy Nova. Great person as well. Pretty cool. I met them in person. They're pretty chill. So if you find them at a LAN, go say hi. They're pretty cool. But my profile picture right now, Koi Whiffer. is my favorite artist right now. Yes, I am a furry. So I really like this artist. So you should check them out too. They're pretty cool. This is like their OC, but I'm getting my OC drawn, my persona, if you will, by ZB. Let's shout out that artist too, because I'm still getting that one shouted out. Shoot, where is? Okay, it's at random with a Z, so randoms brush.bluesky.social. Another cool artist. You should check them out too. Let me see if I can pull up the chat for this. If anyone's talking in it, maybe we can like get another artist to shout out. But if there's anyone talking, I don't know if there is. But we could, I could shout that out, real quick. But they're really cool. They're pretty cool. I'm trying to think what else we could talk about. What else? What do you do with your life, man?
So it's very simple, and I can actually take you through a day in the life. 6 a.m. I wake up and wonder what I'm doing at 6 a.m. Then I realize I have to go to class at I have to go to work at like 8 o'clock, which is already 8 in the morning. Work is crazy work, as the kids would say nowadays. But I'm also a kid at heart, which means that I wake up at 6 and make myself think that it is a school day, so that I can get up and go to school. And then eventually it does become a school day later on, but you wake up, get dressed, get ready, go to work, go to school, and then I eventually come back and realize I have homework to do. And then I have homework to do now. What the heck? Okay. It's just it's all that.
I haven't done my homework in so long. So to be honest with you, I am, kind of in the same boat as you. I'm just trying to like push it off. This is why I'm doing SOS commentary. That's why I asked Popgun to let me on the IPL team on his podcast, to just make sure I could get on and, do this and have some fun. You know what I mean? But I'm just I'm a senior, so I don't have a job right now, but I have one like for the future. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you have things lined up.
I have things lined up, For all the people out there who call me jobless, I do have a job. It just doesn't start till May. So think about it that way. If you say I don't have a job, I will make a diss track about you that you can find on Low Tier Yoshi, Blue Sky. Oh my god. You know what? Let me look to see what else you can buy for $3 and under.
Don't look above your name, by the way. Just don't look.
Jobless! Was! Great white, yeah, you can't spell. You can't spell. I see how it is. I see. Yo, what? You can't spell. I think who's more jobless? Who's more jobless? You can't spell. I'm just saying.
I don't know if the ability to spell correlates with having a job, but I'm sure it might.
I feel like if you're like going for an interview and they're like, I can't spell, I feel like you're gonna lose the job, What if there's a spell check at the job? Oh wait, they're typing again. Are they?
Good.
Are they pump faking me? Am I? Oh.
Are you? I mean, that's kind of.
Am I what? You are you? I don't know. Are you jobless? Let's ask that first. Are you jobless? Let's get an interview. I have like 4 jobs. Lol. What's your favorite one? I am actually under NDA. You could just break it right now. I won't tell. True. Just break you just gonna keep repeating what? Repeating what? Repeating what? You ran out of space. What? A type? What I type? Yes, I will. What if people can't read? What if the great people on chat are illiterate? Do you hate illiterate people? Yes! Was! IPL ban him. Banish this guy. Banish this guy. IPL, please. What are we doing?
I have no authority with which to ban anybody, but it would be fun to see what would happen if the producer gets banned from the stream that is currently happening.
I guess we wouldn't have a stream, would we?
All right, everyone go home.
This is what... Actually, don't leave. Loki, I need to talk to the people. I need to impart my wisdom onto more people. You know what I mean? Is this W Ragemate? Coco 725? Is this I'm not being rage baited. This is just... Oh my god. Oh my god. It's not rage baited.
You are. Listen to yourself, man.
You're muted? I'm not muted. I'm not muted. I know I'm not muted. You can't convince me I'm muted.
I don't know what is going on, but I would like to say that my partner recently came home with a bag of sour worms, and I have been mooching off the said bag for a little bit. If you're asking what this bit is, it is a short little yap session that we like to put on for the fans, just because there's currently some delays in proceedings here at Swimmer Sync, so we'd like to keep the peace and keep things cool, calm.
No, Nino.
Okay.
We're not keeping the peace. The producer is making fun of me, Nino. Be on my side. Be on my side. Bracket live.
Break it.
That's a break it?
No, it's bracket.
Bracket.
There you go.
Oh, that Great White up next.
Yeah, it actually is happening. We did have that last two sets close up, so we have a bracket stage ready to get going for y'all. This is what Great White looks like right now. We got Straftat, Demons Reload, Dynabow. The commentators probably can't pronounce this. I know what that says.
Wait. That's a ta chi hako no. So I know what the katakana, but hiragana is, but I don't know what the kanji is. I will say that. I can't read kanji.
I know that it says the commentators probably can't pronounce this, something like that. So yeah. I know what's going on here. Don't worry. I know what's going on here. Go to the bucket X set Wildcard Revelation.
Is that Reload? Oh, shout out Reload. I love those guys.
Onix, my chain. My chain got the rocks. Oh my god! All right, Miracle, Conejos Malos, and where the shooters be?
Where the shooters be? I don't know where the shooters be. Where are they at?
Over there, clearly.
Over there? Well, they're asking. If they're asking, they're probably not the shooters.
They're in the bracket, I think.
They're in the bracket. But which team? Do we know?
I don't know.
Do you know? Who knows?
Maybe it's a statement. It's like a statement, like, "Hey, this is where they are. This is where the shooters be." Where the shooters?
Is it not a question? I guess it's a question mark.
Yeah, so it's like it's a statement. That's where we're at.
That's where the shooters be. Look at that. They got the freaky ass emoji on top of them too. That's pretty cool.
It happens. Yeah. I mean,
shout out Wildcard.
This is the world of like.
Oh yes, we get Reload. I want to quickly shout out Gold. They were my first commission on Blue Sky. Shout out Gold. They are a TO for Toronto Roca. I want to shout them out really quick. Just sorry. I'm sorry I got excited.
No, you're totally right to get excited because we are now getting back to more Splatoon action. This time getting to the first round. The Great White bracket starting on Splat Zones on Mako Mart. But gotta talk about the teams real quick. Straftat Demons. This is mainly what you're gonna know is Boom. Part of it is also Gold Coral Convergence. Reload, on the other hand, is just Reload.
I love Reload. You know what? I'm gonna glaze a little bit. Reload, I've been following these guys since I probably started coaching, like a little bit after I started coaching, when they played Paradigm Starfish, and I think it was Hammerhead or Mako bracket. These guys are really solid, I'll say that. These guys play very clean, they're very together. They'll see a lot of coordination with these guys. So I'll give huge props to them. I'm not too familiar with the other team, but I know these guys for sure. It's going to be a good show if they're playing, you know? And Gold's a good guy. I've talked to Gold a lot, and yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't say much for the other team because I just don't know them, but Reload, big fans. They've been around for a very long time. They're around for a very long time.
And then, of course, Boom has their own set of accolades to their name. Looking at their recent... their most recent results. Boom X Revenant won Crow Battle Royale 39th in Xi'an. They got second place in December in Swimmer Sync 209. And they've got a lot more to their names, and I'm not going to list off. Go ahead and start listing like crazy, but just know that the app gone as Boom, period, Boom exclamation mark, Boom X Revenant, and right now they are straftat demons, so it's still basically Boom.
Quick question for the people at home: is it the same 4 members, or is it just like is it a core?
It's DCS's pickup / project / actual team.
Now we know. Let's get started. Very, very meta adjacent comp for StatFat. Reload going for something a little bit stat. It's actually kind of it's pretty much the same thing, just without a cooler. Curious to see how this starts. We see a lot of opening presence in mid for Reload, as they are able to take zone first, but a little bit of an overextension from the Carbon Roller, as we see 2 people on the left stack trying to push in. The Fro Pro trying to get a kill, but immediately gets shredded by the 52. And in the back of zone, the Blaster, is able to find 1, assist the second, and it looks like the StatFat Demons off to a great start early on in the game.
First of all, you are an absolute dog for that bamboo pick. I love that, and especially the positioning. You're behind all of straftat demons right now, so if you want to just go and sneak in and get a few picks of your own, now is the best time to do it, especially with where everyone, it seems like everyone on Reload is just on completely different spots on the map, but straftat demons still holding things down for the time being. Reload's gonna get the zone, but straftat demons still have enough presence on the map to where they can still sit comfortably, especially with 2 picks.
Yeah, StrapFat Demons, they may have lost zone, but have a lot of pressure across the map, as the Blaster of all things is capping the zone, and they are able to get it. The Pro is in a fight right now with the Carbon and is unfortunately unable to get past it. A double from the Carbon, but quickly shut down by the Slosher, who tries to take right stack, is unable to do so, and all of a sudden Reload trying to find a way back in. They're taking StrapFat Demons stack. Timmy is trying to get paint down onto closer to their spawn. They have the reef. I think they're just waiting for someone to drop down. They're poking, they're prodding. Are they going to drop down? I don't think so. They're getting pushed out of place. The drop happens now. We should see the reef, maybe? It is coming right now, and that is unfortunately a little bit too late. They should be able to get zoned, but they at least pick up lead.
Interesting exchange there between straftat and Reload because of how back and forth it was, but now it seems like things have slowed down. straftat definitely it feels like they have this game under control, especially with their positioning. This is the sort of positioning I'd see from a team that knows they're this much closer to a lockout. They're reaching the win conditions they want to reach. This is a team coming in with a bit of confidence, but there's only so much confidence you can have before part of your team goes down like that.
Yeah, a little bit of a back and forth affair right now. Unfortunately, Reload is not able to get that retake together, and as a result, they're going to lose lead, and they're going to have a little bit of a deficit to uncover. How much of that deficit they're going to have to get is just based off of if they're able to retake here or not, because it also might just be a KO. We're seeing the Pro right now on the middle of the zone, trying to look around for a kill to get something right in their range, but one of his teammates goes down left side, but they're able to keep the strikes down to get the zone back. Are they able to cap it? No! Just barely. The Reef is able to keep the contest going. They paid over more than StatFat can, and just like that, a retake comes through. There's only one left, though. It is the Bamboozler, but they're going to have to start walking back. They're on low health. Are they going to be able to find the pick? No. Instead, the Carbon is able to keep them alive.
But how much longer are they going to be alive? Or is this going to be a delaying of the inevitable here? We're going to find out soon, because StatFat was doing very well for the longest time there, but now it's starting to seem like they're playing sloppy. I mean, the Bastard there was out of position, arguably, and although they're trying to cover that ledge there, they were just too close to other other opponents within the area. So that results in a loss there. Reload still holding things down. Almost seems like we're a complete reversal of the spots here. Timmy almost picks off Pink Pantheress, but does eventually get the pick. Reload starting to turn the tides here. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, well, they're certainly swimming. They're not sinking, but unfortunately, as unable to find the flank, it's quickly snuffed out. The strikes go down. They're going to try to hold it. Timmy is trying to hold this on as best they can, but the bubbler is going to make that is going to make that hard to do. The reef isn't able to find anybody. And it's a 2-on-2 now. A little bit of a wingman situation for you Counter-Strike fans at home. The Blaster trying to find somebody to take on, but unfortunately the Carbon is who they find. A little unlucky there. The FroPro tries to avenge, but Hammy Sammy plays around the pillow so well, but unfortunately is taken down, and the StatFat Demons are able to take zone back as a result.
And we're almost to the end of the game here. StatFat Demons still trying to maintain control of proceedings, but it seems like it's a much different game than what we saw in the middle there. But when you get 2 picks like that, things are certainly going to help. Timmy is the last one here. I think Timmy is the biggest threat to the rest of his team, but that shutdown is going to be even better to have on your side. These chumps won't do much of anything. Unless we
They don't respect the ninja. They don't respect the ninja jump. Are they able to cap? No! Oh my god, just barely. It's still gonna be contested. Oh my god. Oh my lord. So close. You saw that they just missed the jumps. They didn't see them jumping in. And it almost gave them the zone back, but that's gonna do it. Stratfat Demons, excuse me, take it. The first game, 1-0. Wow, that was fun. That was a fun game.
I gotta point out the slosher gameplay from both Pink Pantherist here and Timmy on Reload, because what I'm seeing from both of them is constant exchanges of sloshes where it's like, all right, no, I got you, no, I poked you, no, I poked you, no, I poked you, and it seems like they have this very deep understanding of their range, of how their weapon works, of how it shoots. I mean, look at stuff like that is what I love seeing from both of these players, and I had to give a shout out to that because we're moving on to Clan Blitz, Barnacle, and Diamond. I think if you're still using a Rage Slider in 2026, it's because you want to use it on maps like this that are very flat, very, very level. And if you're using a Slosher in 2026, I commend you for it because that weapon is secretly still at the bottom of my heart. It's still there. Shout out to Slosher.
Yeah, Barnacle Dime Clan Blitz starting soon. I have some horror stories. I've had friends of mine completely miss the basket after I get a 3K. If the person is watching, you know who you are. You know what you did to me. But this map, obviously a lot of fun. The flanks provide a lot of interesting things to happen. And they're called Alley for you comp players out there. If you are. If you aren't, it's called Alley. Plat also doesn't have a lot of cover, so you see a little bit of both the pros and cons of that. I think the back lines get a lot of angles that you would not normally see on some maps, but also a lot of chances to fight those back lines. Curious what your thoughts are on this map.
Oh wow, okay. A name you'll hear this map be pronounced as is Barn Diesel, and you'll see what I mean in a few weeks, but I like this map because it's the same, for the very same reasons I like Hagglefish. I just like it a little more because it's more open, because it reminds me a little bit of the Reef. Now, granted, the Reef was, I think, a better map because of the wide open space you got there, but it does remind me a little bit of the Reef, and I think that's why I like this map.
Well, I will say one thing. At least the bubbles are no longer in this game, because in the Reef, that was the big thing. You would always find that K Junior. For those who know, torp bubble, and everything within a 30-mile radius would blow up. So one thing, thankfully, that is not in this game anymore that I remember on the Reef, as we're getting in to the second game. As we know, 1 + 1 = 2. So that means that if Reload wins, we go to game 3. If the oh my god, why am I forgetting their name? If the other team wins, I'm sorry for that. If the other team wins, that we are going to go to the next round. StatFat Demons, excuse me.
StatFat Demons coming out with more of the same. Reload, more of the same as well, except they actually brought out the camo charger as well as the decap. The decap's interesting. I do want to see where they're going with that, but we're not going to see it anytime soon because the decap went down. Oops.
Yeah. Oh my God, and a really good play right there from the oh my God, from the bucket, getting two very quickly there, asserting the dominance that they have over the other bucket perhaps. But maybe we'll see another comeback from the Dread. We'll have to wait and see as they're trying to take another fight. Unfortunately, not as lucky as the first two, unable to find one, and the Pro trying to find one more, trying to keep this push going. Unfortunately, the barrier is back up, but they are able to find the sword, but not before trading one of their own. Unfortunately, the Blaster also goes down. It's another 2v2 situation, but a third coming in to potentially help, and a third coming in for the StatFat Demons. A fourth. Are they going to try to push this in? I think they're just going to wait for clams here.
They're also going to wait for this crab, which is at least somewhat of an opening. I do wish I saw that crab going up with the reslider a little bit more. There was only so much you could work with. There only about one player within that reslider's radius. But I like how much they're juggling these clams here. I like the clam economy they have. They have the lead now as a result. Remember, what I said earlier in the stream is if you're going to the bank, you better make sure you have money with you if you want to open an account. And they have enough to open an account with. Their account is just slightly bigger than straftat Demons.
Yeah, exactly. Something your X-ranked teammates won't do, and what these guys are doing is picking up the clams, an important part of this game, as we see them try to go for maybe a second push here with the crab, but the Blaster is making that very difficult right now. They're able to take their plat with the bubble, and all of a sudden that decap, excuse me, yeah, that decap is unfortunately isolated, and that is going to be a death for them. The Pro now trying to capitalize on that man advantage they have. They're able to get the 10 missiles out. They're able to missile 2. Are we going to see something off of that? They're pushing in very quickly, very fast, but they lose one in the process. They're going to need to find one more to make this work, but I don't think they're going to be able to find one. They still get the lead. They're giving up so much space reload, but they're able to take it back so quickly. A jump coming in. Are they able to do it? Are they able to get the clam in? No! Oh. Wait, yes! They just barely get it in. Oh my God, I had a nightmare reaction there. And all of a sudden, such a big push from StatFat Demons.
And I was going to be surprised that that Frozen Pro was able to live through that fight, especially with Timmy just sloshed over the pillow, my boy. See, you've been able to do it very well there. You should be able to do it again with this Dreadringer, and you almost do. But regardless, Reload now on the back foot once more. StatFat Demons decided they're going to make a bigger deposit than what Reload had to offer. So StatFat Demons once again in the lead. It's time for Reload to start coordinating with these specials a little bit more. Once you get that, there's a lot less that StatFat Demons has to work with, especially with how much they're going to be bound to be forced to back up with.
Yeah, I take a quick look at the bucket there. They were in an annoying position. They weren't able to advance because of them. It's great positioning for the bucket, and now that kind of leads for the Demons to have a chance to push in. But just as I say that, the Commentators curse kicks in. The bucket immediately gets picked off by the pencil, and now they're trying to push through their alley. They're pushing, they're going in. The Pro, if they're able to find the Charger, they will. Can they find one more? Unfortunately, unable to, and it's a trade that happens for Alley. It's not in the favor of the Demons. Are they able to find one more? That is what's going to be the key in order to push in here. The Blaster is looking for one to make a mistake, a misstep, perhaps a mistake, and they do find one from the 52. Now they're going to start pushing in, but their team isn't ready for it. They're able to find one on plat, but the space isn't there. The cooler goes down. Is there a chance for these guys to go in? I don't think so. The Reef delays them even more, and they aren't able to capitalize immediately, and look at the space they're able to retake Reload.
If they have any chances, time is starting to run out, and it seems like if Reload they have the resources to work with it. They will have the specials, they will have the picks, but they just aren't able to do anything with it. StatFat Demons is doing so much to suffocate them, it seems, on every end. It doesn't seem, it's just never anything to work with, especially when you have someone like that playing against you. 2 players already going down. Decaf gets at least some trade going, but it's still a numbers disadvantage for Reload. StatFat Demons has all the positioning in the world, all the numbers in the world. Soon enough, they're going to have more specials. They already have a Tri-Strike, and they're going to have a cooler soon enough.
Yeah, it's just a complete barrage that's coming from the StatFat Demons. They're trying to find one more, perhaps, in order to secure the push. The Pencil wants to get one more, but I think it's time to go right now. But it's not. Oh, they do find it, though, but they trade quickly. That's a good trade, honestly, for the StatFat Demons. I think they're just waiting to throw it in for overtime to be canceled. They get the wipe. Everyone goes in, and just like that, the Demons win 2-0. In quite convincing fashion, honestly. It was a back and forth, but that last push just kind of sealed the deal.
And that's kind of what I've been alluding to at near the end there is just that Reload has all that they need, but Straftat Demons does not care. They're going to look at everything, all the resources you got, and say, yeah, that's cool. We have everything right here. And so, and we're just going to show you. Here you go. Have fun.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Still a big fan of Reload, though. Please do go check them out, though. They are a really cool team, really fun people to see. Really good guys, too. Gold, big fan of Gold. Gold and I are good friends, so check out Gold if you can. But fortunately, we'll not be seeing that map 3 as we see that Straftat Demons will be going on to play Pollo. In Wildcard wins their set 2-0. They will be playing Dropped My Whopper. Who goes to Burger King nowadays? I'm sorry. Really? Burger King?
It's
Goats in a bucket also win their set.
Sometimes.
I don't know. I'm more of a McDonald's guy, more of a Wendy's guy myself. I don't see the appeal personally.
Fair enough. It is what it is. But you know what else is what it is? The fact that we have run out of matches to commentate.
You don't know. I want to keep calming with you.
We can't. We have we have 2 other people lined up, and they're going to be excellent. We have to give them their time.
But Nito, I thought we would be together forever.
You sure would like to think that when we come back on IPL.
Wait. Before, where can they find you, Nito? Before.
Running away from you. Kidding. You don't use @beastsky.social. You don't use it on Twitch, and the rare occasion that I do stream. And if you want to find me elsewhere, it's getting dinner. I'm hungry. Where can the people of IPL Splatoon find you?
Got it. And you can find me at lowtieryoshi.bluesky.social. I post skits. I post music now, I guess, that I make with my friend Stamarot for fun. So check us out. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Up next will be Topic and Jolteon Jack V8. So, hey, group of two commentators. I'll be right back.
Welcome back, one and all, to SOS 216. I am Jolteon Jack, and I am joined today by my lovely co-commentator, Topic.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we got some wonderful games that we have lined up right for you, starting with Dynabow versus Goats in a Bucket. One of these teams I'm very familiar with, which is Goats in a Bucket on Robo Ramen Zones. But given the name of their opposing team, Dynabow, I have a feeling that we're going to see a very specific combo from them that'll probably thrive on this stage.
I mean, yeah, because, well, full transparency, this is the first time I've commentated with the new Dynamo buffs, you know, the whole 11.0. So I just want to say I played a set or a scrim earlier this week against a Dynamo bow comp, and you know what? It was not fun.
Yeah, I run that comp now.
It was not fun at all.
I run that comp in my team. It's great.
I hate you.
I love myself, so it's fine. You can hate me all you want.
I gotta bounce that out somehow.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, it's very strong now. The combo with that between those two weapons. They already had good synergy before the Dynamo buff. It's just now that the Dynamo hitbox is a bit more consistent in terms of damage and whatnot. It just makes it a much better combo because you're able to much easy. What am I trying to say here? You're able to, if one of the members, either the Dynamo or the Bow, doesn't pick somebody off right away, the other one will be able to very easily do so, even with an indirect shot, because the damage numbers line up a lot more consistently now between those two weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and specifically on this map, Robo Ramen, Dynamo is very strong at taking elbow. Bow is very good at covering snipe from afar, you know, keeping yourself safe. I think, or I wouldn't be surprised if they go the Inkling one with not Inkling. What's the one with Inkjet? That one.
Is that Inkling? No, Inkling's the one with. You are correct about which one it is. Yeah, that's about what I expected. V-Dyna, new bow, new brush as well, and a stamper on the side of Dynabow, and on Ghost in a Bucket we have a slosher V brush, just a bunch of V weapons headed, and a pair of dualies. Right now both teams just fighting for zone control. Right now there's already so much yellow paint in the mix. Oh, they're trying to get the lovely sprinkler angle up there. It doesn't look like they managed to hit it, but me and my team found that earlier. You can lob a sprinkler onto the top dome above the zone and it can just stay there. Not a lot of weapons can push it out.
I mean, yeah, it's been very, very helpful, and I think overall Dynamo's gonna have a really strong comp difference, because the Dynamo plus Bow kind of shuts down the Bucket plus dualies, make sure that they don't really want to do anything, make sure they can't really push forward without being threatened. The Kraken as well, getting chip damage and getting a kill before going down themselves. However, Goats in the Bucket and trying not to go down, but now we see Dynabow kind of not worried too much, because, well, they are a little worried now, but with that Bow and the Dynamo in the backlines, they have a lot of space to work with. But unfortunately, if Goats in the Bucket can kind of close that space like Nil just did right there, getting a nice pick, and Woomy as well, they can just kind of squeeze out Dynabow, because like their weapons imply, they're very not slow moving, but a lot slower moving than Goats in the Bucket are.
Yeah, and they're also very susceptible to punishing if you are out of position, like we saw when Goats in a Bucket was able to get the pick on the Dynamo. But right now, they're the one with two people down, though they will take lead right here. The Dynamo utilizing that Inkjet to push the remaining two members back and buy time for the rest of the team to respawn. Great kill right there from the Dynamo user, getting back up on top, trying to paint as much as possible, get that Kraken in to potentially get another kill. They are able to do so and then swiftly return out. Two down on the side of Ghost in a Bucket, and the penalty points from Dynamo are crabbing down very slowly. That crab might be helpful, but it just gets shredded by the Stamper and the Dynamo combo. God, I might have to steal this comp.
I mean, yeah, it works out. You can't build HP specials against this team, because guess what? Dynamo, Stamper, Bow does a lot of damage. Heck, even the Inkjet's doing some work as well, setting up for a nice triple kill for the side of Dynabow. And now, kind of where they need to start pushing up a little bit further with that Stamper, with that brush, is on this elbow. But they might not have to use it, as the Woomy's going down to a really, really well-placed Booyah Bomb. And now Dynabow just gotta hold on. You see the members of the Ghost in the Bucket just jumping in, trying to go in. Allegro in the zone with the whale. They Stop it. Woomy there for the assist as well to clean up along with Nilla in the backlines as well. So goes in the bucket at the very end, able to get back to or get the zone back in their control. But now the question is, can they keep away Dynabow for long? Because they're gonna have that Kraken, they're gonna have that Inkjet, they're gonna have Dynamo as well. And if all those get in, like you see right here, it could be a very easy retake.
Yeah, Inkjet isn't able to really prioritize the target that it needs to, even with the new usage of adding health bars. I figured that would be a very helpful thing. Great kill on the jump right there, but the zone does not flip into the favor of Dynabow. That Kraken and Dynamo combo, they get one kill. Unfortunately, the Dynamo goes down right there, and the Kraken's going to have to fall back before they get splatted themselves. Those points are counting down, 2 down on either side. It once again is neutralized, but it is not flipping. Carlos doing an amazing job just holding the line right here. Is going to have to retreat. No, gets splatted in the zone. Flips. That is not what you want to see right now if you are on Goats in a Bucket, but they still have plenty of time because there's still a lot of penalty points on the side of Dynamo. They force a jump out right there. Chud doing their best just to space out the members of Goats in a Bucket. Booyah Bomb ready, just waiting for them to group up together like they did right there before letting it rip. I am wondering what Dragon is doing. I've never seen Dynamos take these flanks before, but it's doing wonders for them. Typically, you have Dynamo playing on glass and then a little bit more in mid, if not up front, but they learned that they got punished last time when they did that, so they're just hanging off right here as the zone is just constantly flipping back and forth.
I mean, yeah, both these teams fighting for a lot of zone. Crab trying to go in alongside the bucket. Unfortunately, one's going to go down. Woomy, very weak, staying alive. No, Lions able to get it with the explosion damage, able to get a nice pick. 49er with this Kraken. I like these Kraken just taking as much space as possible, forcing them back, making sure that Goats in the Bucket cannot get to the zone as we enter the final 30 seconds of the game. It is going to work out very much in their favor. As you see now, Goats in the Bucket, they kind of just have to, they kind of just have to hold forward as best as they can, try to stay alive because they have the weapons to rush down. But Dynamo, like talk about the entire time, Dynamo Bow kind of shuts that down. 2 members down on either side. Woomy with the crab actually.
Oh no, the crab's not going to allow the pace fast enough.
Left, yeah, you saw Carlos was right next to it. They went down. Nilla and Allegro also went down. So whether it be just unfortunate crab timing or just really good prioritization by Dynabow, making sure everyone else is dealt with, either way you look at it, solid game.
Very solid game one right there. It's still very possible. With how close that was, I would not be surprised if we go to a game 3 right here. We're seeing 49er, brilliant usage of that cooler after Kraken, just able to immediately just jump right out at the second that trouble was spawned. We're seeing right here, Carlos unfortunately goes down. Dynamo was quick to know that they can't really do anything about the crab. Even if they get a right angle, it won't do much. They have to prioritize the head it because that's where the paint is. And since they took down the head it, the crab didn't have enough time to paint the zone with it just counting down to 3 penalty points, and then the second those are gone, the game is over.
Yeah, I agree, because like you mentioned in the game, the crab couldn't paint by itself, and shout out to Dragapult there again. We were saying the entire time, just kind of prioritizing the painters. Now, as we go to game number 2, Undertow Tower, where paint, while is necessary, is not the, biggest priority, especially for tower control, right? You can get away with not a lot less, but you can get away with less paint prioritization and more taking space, because I feel like everyone knows this. First checkpoint doesn't even matter. That's gonna be gone in the first 10 seconds. Now watch me jinx it.
You're gonna see the first Undertow Spillway game that doesn't go past the first 20 points, kids. Watch it right here.
Yeah, but also I think the second checkpoint is really the biggest choke point here. And honestly, I think that Dynabow, at least from the outset, has the weapons to do that. They have Booyah Bomb to cover the grates. They have Inkjet. They have Kraken to go on the Uninkables. They have Dynamo being Dynamo. So I think they have just a really good comp for this. But they still have to win the game, as Ghost in the Bucket are going to look to force game number 3.
Yeah, basically no comp change except for the fact of a slight bow adjustment to V-bow and a switch to order brush right there, but very helpful with the zip cast. There's a lot of good zip cast points on this map. No changes on the side of Goats in the Bucket. Hey, they know what works well for them, and they're going to do as best they can. Right now, already early pick on Dynabow right now. That's exactly what Goats in the Bucket need. They need to reestablish paint right here, get control of mid. They're going to take an early lead on tower, but that doesn't really matter. They're looking for picks right now. They already got a cooler out on both sides. Wonderful usage. You get cooler at 5 swings now with Dynabow, and it is lovely. 3 down on the side of Goats in the Bucket while I'm just glazing my favorite weapon in the game, making that a delayed wipeout as that crab is picked off by the wonderful Zipcast right there.
Yeah, and I think what happened was for Goats in the Bucket, they played fast, but I feel like they played a bit recklessly, and that allowed them to go 3-4 members down. You see Dynabow are just trying to take control, because with their comp as a whole, with these two kind of one pseudo backliner and one actual backliner, they can play a lot slower. They can force Goats in the Bucket to push into them and kind of force the game to slow down. And so Goats in the Bucket tries to speed it up. They can get punished really easy. See right here, they're trying to push forward. They're trying to get into mid, but Dynamo plus Stamper plus Bow is doing everything they can to just make sure that doesn't happen. Like we talked about in the pregame, taking up control of that top right side. You saw the Zipcaster there for just a second, just to kind of dissuade members, and so far it's working out. They got to the second checkpoint, even though they didn't break it just yet. That's a lot of damage done.
That is a lot of damage done. 2 specials on either side right here. The tower is moving back to mid. That is already a pick on the Dynamo, on Dynabow right here. And Crab coming out, and a Booyah Bomb, I think. Yeah, counter right onto the tower right now. Crab taking a very weird angle that you don't often see for Crab, but actually quite useful, able to get the respawning members. Good kill on Hawaiian right there by Woomy. They're doing their best to just stay alive right here. That sword in the backline is going to be a bit hard, and it does unfortunately pick them off. That Zipcast is going to force the members of Ghost in the Bucket off tower. They're probably going to want to jump out right here, but it looks like they are able to just hold position right now. So weak, they do manage to get the kill. They've made it to checkpoint and have taken the lead.
Yeah, they've taken the lead, kind of forcing their way through, making sure that Dynamo and Bow are both very uncomfortable. You see Allegro trying to do brush things, but Dynamo says nah and shuts that down immediately, leaving only Carlos. So that will be the end of the push, but that was a great push. They kind of did what they needed to do. The Crab got a lot of value, the Bucket got in his positions, the Brush did everything they can to kind of be a distraction, but now you gotta be worried of both the main weapons alongside the Zipcaster doing a lot of damage, Woomy going down. So no Crab is going to be a bit of a hindrance to Ghost in the Bucket. It's just going to be Nilla on that top side fighting Chud on the Stamper, trying to get it, but not quite able to go just far enough to break through that checkpoint. 1 point away, able to get control of the lead. Very, very close though. 2 points that bring these two teams, but Ghost in the Bucket able to, at the very least, stop the push forward now and kind of work towards resetting it back to their advantage.
Yeah, right now we're just trying to get the tower back in mid. Crab tank being pushed around by the tower right here. Spots the Dynamo a little bit out of position, but it isn't going to be able to capitalize because there's just so much paint for them to move. It is able to get a kill on the Bow right there, which is very, very helpful. Umi knows that you do not want to take that fight, friend. Do not charge that Dynamo and that Stamper. You are going to perish. Okay, yeah, no, they jumped out. That was smart. Cooler back up, and now they can re-establish the push. Unfortunately, one member goes down right there, which is going to kill Momentum. Make that 3 down. Just like that. That is a wipeout. Dynamo. Ooh. They were down on a member right there, but they just, baited all of the members of Goats in a Bucket into them. Like you said, they're comfortable with playing patient. They got lead. The only people who are going to panic right now are Goats in a Bucket. And as we see right now, 2 go down on the side of Dynamo, 3 down on the side of Goats in a Bucket, though. They are happy taking that trade as long as they stay in the lead and the tower keeps moving for them. V-Flick, unfortunately, doesn't get the kill like always.
I mean, yeah, I get to shout out Dynabow for kind of shutting down those pushes by kind of baiting Goats in the Bucket to kind of overextending and putting themselves in the bad spots. They got a kill. Guess what? They really did a great job of kind of stacking that up on one kill to another, and making sure that Goats in the Bucket stayed kind of staggered. We see right here, 2 going down for Dynabow. It may be opportunity that Goats in the Bucket looking for, but the Booyah Bomb on tower. Carlos staying alive, getting back on tower. Before you go to the Bucket, you have to keep those strikes. You have to make sure that you keep Dynabow away from the tower. Unfortunately, Nilla's going to go down. Dynabow, no one near the tower. 20 seconds remaining. So if you're Dynabow, you can chill. You're going to have Booyah soon. You're going to have Whales relatively soon. You're going to have Zipcaster as well to kind of force those frontliners out. So you don't really have to force any fights, but they have broken the checkpoint, so it can be really, really close. 3 points remaining. GG Booyah is going to be popping
and the Zipcast as well.
The Zipcaster, however, says, I'm going to do this myself. And Dynabow, a very, very close win, I will say, versus Goats in the Bucket, but that will give them the set win 2-0.
Wonderful, wonderful team coordination and special usage at the end there by Dynabow. They were very comfortable playing patient. And I mean, that's something that a lot of teams like struggle with in this game, because like it is a game I've constantly talked about. You can't be hesitant in this game, but there's a difference between hesitancy and patience. And we saw that expertly demonstrated right here by Dynabow. They had the Zipcast, but instead of popping it as the seconds were climbing down here in the game, they knew they just needed to wait for that Booyah Bomb to come out, give them a little bit of cover, force them to scatter, and then they could pick off anybody if anybody still did jump on tower after that Booyah. If the Dynamo went down or anything like that, they just had every option covered because they had such great coordination and great special usage. Great job to both of the teams.
Yeah, but like we were saying earlier, Dynabow, they played their game. Like, I don't know what else to say. They allowed Goats and Bucket to make the mistakes. They allowed them to push too far forward, especially like during that middle portion of the game. It felt like there were 2 back-to-back wipeouts on the side of Goats and the Bucket, so that kind of allowed Dynabow to keep that momentum on their side and to keep it going. But we're gonna take a quick look at what's happening around great white bracket. Pollo versus Dynabow, interesting set. From the other side, Wildcard is just waiting for their other team to get set up and get the match started. But with that, that'll be it for semis of this edition of SOS. But don't go anywhere, because you have more Swimmer Sync coming up to you in a few minutes.
I've got these monsters in my head. I've got these monsters in my head.
Well, welcome back everyone to SOS number 216. I am Topic, joined once again by Jotion Jack, and for your semifinal match semifinals. For your semifinals match,
You doubted yourself. You forgot.
Wait, don't. Okay. Anyway, we have a great match for you. We have Onix, my chain got the rocks. Debatable. Onix is rocks, but I don't know if it's a chain, but that's neither here nor there. And Wildcard, also known as the Persona people. That's what first came to my mind when I saw that team name.
So is Snake Chain or is Chain Snake? And if Chain Snake,
I think the chain. I think the snake is the chain because I think you can. Because Onix can be one as a chain technically.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really heavy.
Yeah. This is a baby Onix, very tiny Onix you can wear around your waist as a belt. This is really dumb. Anyways, our first game's on Barnacle and Dime, where you can buy very nice belts, I'm sure. We are finally getting into best of 3 here, so we have a
best of 5.
Best of 5 games. Best of 5. God. Okay. Numbers are hard, people. I
agree. Math is hard.
Math is hard. I was doing math earlier. I don't like it. Anyways, we got Barnacle and Dime Splatoons, which thankfully won't have to deal with much math, probably, unless you're buying nice stuff. Typically, Zones Barnacle is a very neutral map. No team necessarily has absolute advantage or anything. It's not at least in this mode, it's not as easy to be pushed back in. It's not like it's Clam Blitz or something like that. We'll get to that the next round. But yeah, I always have a fun time with Barnacle and Dime. Zones, how about you, my friend?
I think if any of you watched an SOS stream before, then you know my thoughts on Hagglefish Zones, also known as Vanilla Ice Cream of Splatoon 3.
I love it.
Okay, we can discuss that later, but this one in my mind is like strawberry ice cream. It's good. It's not as bland as Hagglefish. It has a little bit of kick to it, if you can call it that. It has something unique about it, and I think it's good. It's it's very inoffensive. That's how I have to put it.
No, that's very, very, very true. I mean, I've seen people get oppressed on this map. That's a roller player. It's another roller player topic. It's another roller player. Am I going to get to see roller? Yes! I get to...
Calm down. Jesus.
I'm so happy. 2 rollers. I am living the dream right now, folks. Sorry. Ever since the buff, I've been actually seeing rollers in tournament. Even if I get bodied by another roller, I'm actually seeing rollers in tournament. And it makes me happy. Right now, we're just seeing it start going up here. That Dynabow is going to be wonderful at applying pressure. You don't want to do too many V-flicks down this way, though, already. You do have Cooler up and running already, though, so that's great. Probably going to see a Wave Breaker coming out right here. Already a take from Wildcard, expectedly. 1 down for Onix. My chain got the rocks right here. They're just trying to push in right now, get a flank on that crab. Oh, they missed the sweet spot. No, they did get it. That was either a bit of delay or the ink just didn't fall down far enough, but wonderful usage by the roller right here.
Yeah, great usage. But we're going to see right now, both teams just kind of fighting over control. You see one trying to take the streets. Onix able to pop that splash on, get rid of that bubble, going straight for the plat, which you're going to do alongside getting a pick on the S-Blast as well. So able to at least get both street and plat, two very important spots on this map. Dynamo trying to go in a little bit far is going to go down. Very unfortunate timing there. But if you're a wild card, you have to really take use of this team fighting. As you see right here is Jared going to get one, going to get two, going to go straight for the zone, able to get it relatively nicely. And I think one thing I want to point out is the use of heavy edit, or not heavy edit, the heavy splatling, not being quite the backliner as it traditionally is, more of a midline, kind of like ends up a bit longer range. I think that's been very useful for applying that pressure, since I think it is very good at countering kind of the very slow Dynamo roller. So we're going to see if they use that to advantage here. And so far, unfortunately, it's like Wildcard, they're not going to be able to get a lot more space, as Onix just kind of has mid and has the streets, which are very important here.
Yeah, they have great control of mid right now. They're just putting down a lot of pain and allowing their Slayers to get in there. Beautiful Splashdown is going to be able to get a secure kill on two, but unfortunately, two are down on their own side right now. They do still have control and are forcing the remaining members back. Beautiful V-flick right there. You don't want to use that move too often right there. It is very, very vulnerable, but that is the situation where you want to do it, getting the kill like that. Right now, they're just playing cleanup, not wanting to overextend like they did in their last push, which caused the zone to flip as they make it down to 50 points right here. A cooler out on the side of Wildcard. They need to try to find a good pick. Great bubble usage, and one down on the side of both teams right now. Booyah Bomb, you might want to try to move in with that right there. The Blaster and the Roller moving in together, trying to get a kill. That's one. Sees a jump, gets two. That is exactly what you need right here. The zone still has flipped into the favor of Wildcard. That's a lot of penalty points, but they made it down to 26, Topic. 26.
Yeah, but here we go. The start of Wildcard's potential lockout here. I think they be very helpful at this with that bubble, with the S-Blast kind of cutting off that top side. Roller just sharking underneath, snipe, doing what a lot of these they're getting jumps in, actually very, very helpful as well. And again, like I talked about earlier, was Jungle at the very least trying to push up with that heavy edit, but it's going to get punished by the 52 here. You see Onix trying to force a fight, force a way in. You see Yacht going in behind the zone, able to at least get neutralized, not quite able to flip the zone just yet. Wildcard able to keep it. The Roller able to get a pick on the enemy plat, doing just enough to make sure their team has enough space to work with here. Three going to go down. It's just Dynamo. They're going to go down as well. And I believe with that jumper, they're going to be in the zone, but not enough paint to go down on it. And Wildcard coming back after going down, what, 28 to like 90?
26. It was 26 to like 95 or something like that before Wildcard retook control right there. But they had their foot on the gas pedal and they did not let off. That was some wonderful like team communication and just movement, especially from that team, was great. They had such wonderful movement, just being able to maneuver around the map. That was a beautiful V-flick from the Roller right there. And right here, they are just doing their best to keep out the remaining members of Onix Lane Chain, because they're the ones in control. And once you take out the Dynamo support and they can't get in, there's nowhere to run. They got no movement and no paint to walk through, so they're a sitting duck right there, especially for a heavy splat lane.
Yeah, it was just very, very good there. I think what Wildcard did well, at least at the end there, they took control of the streets, because early on, Onix My Chain got the rocks. What happened was they got control of both streets and plat. That's very helpful because you kind of cut off a very pivotal entrance or escape route for the enemy team. So by getting that, it was hard for Wildcard to get in. But at the end of the game there, we saw Wildcard first got in with that Booyah Bomb, then took plat, took street, and took over the game. But we're going to see if they're able to continue this as we go. That's the wrong mode.
That is not wrong mode.
It is supposed to be Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge, which I think it could go either way. I think it could go pretty evenly, I will say. I think the elbow is going to be a lot more favored towards Wildcard, only because they have that bubble Roller. Very helpful there. S-Blast in general.
This is a very good shark. This is a very good sharking map for a Roller. You got a lot of sides to like work with, and a lot of like great little angles. The ramp up to enemy base is just a great area to poke somebody out of position, like maybe a Dynamo Roller that got a bit big, too big for its britches. It's a very, very, very good map. It's also a map that you can very easily get pushed back on. And if Onix is able to establish themselves, if they continue to run something like Dynamo Blaster comp that we saw right there, getting the Dynamo up on Wildcard's like top platform next to Basket, that's a very oppressive position for a Dynamo to hold. Though with that heavy splat lane, they might be able to do something about it.
Yeah, even so, if we stick on with Onix, I'm gonna stick on Onix's comp because I think what's going to be very helpful there is the Stamper, low key. Because if they keep with the Crab one, which I don't see why they would switch, maybe they go to Booyah Bomb to protect the basket. No, they're sticking with this. No, yep, I called it Booyah Bomb. Yep. I'm just like that. Yeah, they're going with that Booyah Bomb to pop most likely cover basket, cover that top right side to cover court because they can do a whole lot there. And I think for both teams, just getting their frontliners in, whether it be the custom blaster for Onix, whether it be the roller plus S blast for Wildcard, I think getting those teams onto ramp, very, very big here.
Yeah, we see both teams right now just playing eco, trying to get some picks. Already a cooler out on one side. Wildcard does lose a member right here. Booyah Bomb already locked and loaded on the side of Onix. That's 3 down. Wonderful, wonderful Booyah right here. Getting some extra eco as they know they have enough time to push. But unfortunately, there seems to be some little bit of miscommunication or whatnot. But they do get the Dynamo in and barely survives. And that is a broken basket right here. Right now, they're trying to shred that bubble, get in as many clams as they can. They have gotten 1 in so far. That's not what you want to see. But it looks like they're going to get forced out right here. They don't have the momentum to stay in. I don't know if that was like a little like miscommunication about who was supposed to get clams and like move it in, or should the Dynamo should have just gone at the front, but it did just sort of kill their momentum, even though they do still have control of mid right here and do have a super clam at the ready.
Yeah, you have control of mid, but getting in is going to be the biggest problem here because I think Wildcard is going to kind of adapt to what happened here. You see, I think Jared jumping out at the last second before getting a kill. Onix forced back almost immediately. Great job there by the rest of Wildcard, mainly the S-Blast plus roller. Unfortunate timing there, but they did a really great job of just following up on Jared getting a kill here. But I think Onix doing a really great job of kind of stabilizing back in mid. Now I think that their biggest problem is of course pushing past ramp, because you gotta be wary of S-Blast, you gotta be wary of the heavy with the wave, you gotta be wary of the roller. You see right here, they're kind of, this is kind of a choke point.
The Booyah Bomb
they have Booyah Bomb almost as well, along with the whale. That's going to be somewhat helpful, but no blaster. So your frontliners going down is going to kind of cause you to just not push forward here. J-Blast on top, kind of taking control, and what looked like a really, really good opportunity to push just kind of fizzled out into nothing.
Yeah, right now it does look like Wildcard has reestablished control of mid, and with that Dynamo down, they are forced back into their base. We're at a very similar position, though, where with a Booyah and a Blaster just looking at you as you try to get up on ramp, you can't really do much, and you don't have the a big enough distraction right now to try to get... We're back in the first, like, a minute and a half of the game. We've been, once again, pushed back into a neutral state, and once again, Wildcard is back in their own base. They barely saved that Super Clam, which is going to help them back on the rebound. QCG able to get one pick, unfortunately goes down to the Blaster right here. A flank around to the side. Jungle does see it, but that wall is a big deterrence right now. Gal is just being oppressive as it always is. Wildcard has to do something to actually get a run that'll stick in, but right now they got 2 down on their side, and it looks like Onix is trying to break in right here.
Yeah, it's like they are going to be finally able to do that for the second time, getting some additional claims as well. It's going to be very, very helpful here, getting down to 56 points remaining. And Wildcard trying to play some defense. 2 members are going to go down here. You see the Stamper just staying alive. Managed to get a pick on Jared before going down. 52 going in. Yeah, getting another additional clam, and so at least getting a lot more points on the board here. And I want to shout out Bonk specifically here. It's just keeping mid and keeping them back, because it feels like for a majority of this game, Wildcard has been, speaking of double right there, Wildcard has just not been able to move past mid. They did it like once, like halfway through the game, but it feels like they've just been stuck here. They've tried these flanks. See Jerry going down the flank here. They've tried flanking, but every time they've tried it, it just hasn't panned out. Like you see right there, a pick going down on the side of Wildcard. Very unfortunate there. So they're kind of back in the building where you see Onix just knocking on the door.
Yeah, right now, I mean, they have them pushed so far back, and even with that bubble just allowing them to reestablish some bit of space for a moment, they do still have 1 down. 2 down on the side of Onix on my chain right there. Roller unfortunately goes down. It's 2 down on the side of Wildcard. They need to play together right here. They're scattered trying to pick off targets on 2 opposite sides of the map. It seems like right now they have Onix has the ball, and they're looking to get that push in. That wall from the Gal going to be very helpful. They are able to get it in right there. Wonderful, wonderful wall placement. They're just waiting, gathering some more clams. They have all the time in the world right now that they need to waste. Even if they don't get that super clam in, which it doesn't look like they're going to be able to, a 50-point thing in 1 run, very doable. But with how Wildcard's offense just keeps getting staggered this game, I don't know if they'll be able to do it. QWQ doing great job right there, just getting in to just get the ball and get out, getting a pick on their person, trying to flank the backline. That's what they need right now. But they need an entrance of some kind. And when they keep staggering like this, I don't know how they're going to be able to do that, especially when their eco is rapidly depleting. They need to save one of those super clams.
I mean, yeah, they had 3 power claims. They only have 1 to work with. Q going in, able to get a pick here. Time is up. Yes, and Jared just trying to jump in, trying to save it, just staying alive somehow, some way. Getting a pick.
How is he alive? No, it hit the basket.
No. The hero play was not quick enough. And Onix, my chain, got the rocks, able to take a very slow, grindy game, kind of like the Super Bowl a couple days ago. But they won because they kept Wildcard in their base. Anytime they tried to flank, whether it be Jared, whether it be Q, whether it be J Blast, they just kept them back. They kept them away, and I think it was the additional. Also, shout out Jared, just getting a nice pick there, staying alive.
Jared did more running right there than the Patriots did the entire game.
True. I agree. I hate the Patriots. Anyway, yeah. I think
here at IPL, we don't take sides in sports. But if you're the Patriots, we don't like you.
We don't like you, no matter what you are. Yeah. But I think the helpful, what is it? The Booyah Palm really did help get both the Blaster and 52 in. It helped Dynabow just kind of take space, but we're gonna see if they can keep this momentum as we go to game number 3. TC Hagglefish.
All right, so what type of ice cream do you like?
It depends on the mood.
Okay, I mean, we're seeing vanilla right now, according to your estimate.
This is vanilla bean ice cream. It has a little bit extra to it.
Oh, yeah, it's power controlled. Oh, my favorite way to play Haggle right here. No, I will agree. It's a little bougie vanilla, a little sorbet or something. I don't know. Right now, we're just seeing both teams just vying for control of mid. I feel like I say that every time, but it's true. I see up. Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized we have a little bit of a change, actually, up on Wildcard, going for the dually squelchers and a pencil right now, rather than their typical heavy and impact right now. Doing a great job, Jared, right there, able to help secure 2 kills, third, forcing the 1 out right there. Even though Onix got a few points on the board, this is what they need right now. They got a pencil, and a pencil on this map, it can be oppressive when you're riding that tower. Though Dynabow, if they get up on either of the 2 stacks as they get to the checkpoints here, can definitely be a bit of a problem for Pencil to deal with. But that's just if they don't get any shots off right there. Great counter on that bubble. 3 down on the side of Wildcard.
I mean, yeah, it starts with one great job on the side of Onix, just kind of separating the members of Wildcard, getting them down, and now they're going to try to push here, but that pencil plus these consistent flanks from QEC right there are going to do a lot in just keeping them back. So I think if you're Onix, your biggest goal is trying to get that pencil out of position. Make sure that they cannot affect tower. Make sure that they cannot sit there comfortably. You see right here, Blue Eyes going to be popped as well as the 5th, as long as the Whales just try to get some momentum on their side. Jared's going to go down, so that's going to be a quick and easy way towards that first checkpoint. No one's on that top right side, so Onix maybe kind of a free first checkpoint here. You see Jared finally going to drop on the top right side, going to get caught out and point out immediately, just going to force away, going to drop on the ramp, able to get one in the trade, but Onix still going. Booyah Bomb on the tower. You see Bonk unaffected, just hopping right back on, going straight towards that second checkpoint, staying alive somehow. But Q able to shut that down here. Just splash come out real soon from Lewis. There it is. One's gonna go down. Onix with the second checkpoint broken, almost immediately Booyah Bomb along as well to kind of clear out that top right side and give Lewis some space to work with here. Unfortunately, they're gonna go down. 23 points remaining. Onix looks like that will be the end of the push, but both two checkpoints alongside most way through that third one, that's a damn good push.
I mean, you say the push is dead, but I still see them holding space near Wildcard's base right now. They ain't going nowhere. We see the roller do-si-do right here, just trying to avoid the pencil. Unfortunately, gets picked off by a combination. Good coordination there between Wildcard, knowing they need to take out the Dynabow before it can establish itself behind. Unfortunately, Lewis right there with the blaster. They did that earlier when they were on tower, but they knocked on Heaven's door a little bit too loudly, and it answered right there. 2 down on either side. It's a bloodbath right now, but Wildcard has managed to push the tower back to a point where they can try to get out of their base at least. Jared right now needs some help on left side right here. 1 down on the side of Onix that might chain. They got a cooler out. Right now for Wildcard, they need to try to reestablish control of mid right here because that is a lot of yellow paint on the ground.
Yeah, a lot of yellow paint. And I think that's kind of the Achilles heel per se of Wildcard, is that the roller S-Blast by themselves kind of are not big painters. So you're kind of overly relying on the pencil and CDS to kind of push up and paint for you. But if they go down like you see right there, you're kind of a fish out of water here. But Wildcard have finally gotten their footing. 2 members down on Onix. My chain got the rocks, and you see they're gonna start this momentum, start this push going, get to it towards that first checkpoint, and once again, or like we saw kind of in reverse, going straight for that top right side with the wave breaker, with the pen looking at there. 2 members gonna go down. J-Blast going in. Booyah. I think we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. Just clearing it. Q is gonna go down. Jared's gonna go down. J-Blast and Jungle, the last 2 remaining, and it looks like they're gonna be forced away from tower. Q try to jump in, not gonna work out. A minute to go left into this game.
Beautiful slap on right there. He's alive.
Yeah, somehow he's alive. But yeah,
great squid roll right there from Dynabow. I wish I could say I was that good at the timing of it, but no, I've definitely been caught mid-swing right that. We're just seeing right now, they have advantage right now, Onix on my chain, so they're just trying to hold up in mid. Unfortunately, that time he couldn't get away from the splat bomb right there. Q going in a bit too far in and jumping out right there very, very smartly. J-Blast looking for just something great. Great burst bomb usage right there, forcing them off of the towers. You do not want the members of Onix on my chain on these points as they make it through to checkpoint 2 right here. This is what they need. Unfortunately, with 2 down on the side of Wildcard and Jungle Pack not having a lot of movement to work with, yeah, you gotta jump out. I'm surprised he didn't earlier, but he was able to stay alive there for a bit. But it's only 5 seconds left on the clock right there, and I don't think anybody's gonna be able to make it in time. The booyah the booyah splashdown combo to seal the deal, even though nobody was there. Onix, my chain got the rocks, will take it 2-1 right now.
I mean, you saw they kind of had a really great opening. What else you want me to say? Like, they got through the first 2 checkpoints on the 23 points in their first push. They kept Wildcard not staggered, but like kind of forced back. They kept space in mid when they did go down, mainly because of Bonk with that Dynamo just kind of being that intimidating force that kind of said, hey, push me if you dare, to Wildcard. That really worked out. And then on defense, it looked kind of iffy, but guess what? They had Bonk kind of taking cover in front of that second checkpoint, just raining down ink splatters everywhere. You had Lewis with the blaster kind of course covering tower, and then the Stamper just waiting with Booyah on the wings, and that just kind of sealed the deal, honestly.
Yeah, it very much did. So we'll see if they can try to bounce it back. Maybe we get a game 5 right here, but in order to do that, we got to get through Clam Blitz on Umami Ruins. I feel, given the performance that we've seen so far, especially on the last Clam Blitz game right now, I think Onix might have a little bit of an advantage right here.
I mean, yeah, I could see that, mainly because they had the momentum on their side. That's very, very helpful. I think Blaster is really good here. Dynamo's really good here. You have Silo, you have top mid, and you can just kind of take over. You have 52 is just generally good. Nothing really wants to
Name me a
about it.
map that 52 is bad on.
You can't. But for a wild card, honestly, I think the roller S-Blast could do a whole lot of damage there. If they
You finish?
if they can maneuver around the mid section, I think they can do a whole lot here. But we're gonna see as we enter game number 4, going with the Carbon. Okay, a bit more of that aggressive, sneaky option, of course, with Ninja Squid, and back to heavy.
Yeah, back to heavy. I mean, you got to be a bit more mobile. Pen is good on this map, but with it being clams, you might want just that little bit extra mobility and a bit quicker fire rate that heavy will provide right here. Just seeing Q, great burst bomb. I love the burst bombs that I've seen so far from Wildcard right now. They do go down, unfortunately. J-Blast able to get a quick vengeance kill right there, looking to poke the person in mid. Unfortunately, they go down to the Dynamo right there, but they take the trade right there. Already a power clam formed and a lot of eco left to grab right here. Booyah Bomb coming out in mid, forcing their heavy to take a few steps back, which is going to buy a little bit more time for Onix by Chain Got the Rocks to respawn. But they are losing members right here. Their Carbon is going to go down, which might kill their push just a little bit, as their forward option is a little bit thin. You see that blaster, but unfortunately, you barely missed the shot. That is not what you want to see. That burst bomb, you might have just wanted to shoot. And unfortunately, 2 down, and you are going to have to back up right here. Jungle, you don't want to get hit by that sword, and unfortunately you led another one of your friends to your death.
I mean, yeah, the Wildcard had all this momentum on the side, all the clams, all the specials. Unfortunately, one pick kind of snowballed into another, to another. So now they had 20-something clams to work with. They had a lot, and unfortunately, that potential push isn't going to stop. But a new one may be on the way, because even though they've lost members, they're still in mid. They still haven't given up that much space. They still have the top side. They still have the both sides of mid. So they weren't at the time forced to give up, but Jungle Pack just kind of forced to move away. Ola's facing death here. Jared's gonna go down there, so Onix, my Chain Got the Rocks and start the scoring here, but not a whole lot of points on the board just yet. 65 is all they're gonna manage for now. Getting down under 60 is very important here. As you see, they're able to get a lot of clams, especially right now. 41 points remaining. Lewis kind of spawn camp at least a little bit here. They're gonna go down. Jared's gonna kind of force away Bonk, but Bonk jumping out with the kill on their resume as well. So great push from Onix. My Chain Got the Rocks, and Wildcard, they had opportunities at the beginning of the game, but now they got to execute.
Yeah, no, you can't afford to stagger right now. And when I say stagger, I obviously mean in terms of death, but also the momentum right now. Their momentum is already down in terms of that is unfortunate right there, in terms of the Carbon not being able to get that sneak, and they do get the super clam in, but the rest of the team is a little bit way back, so I don't know if they'll be able to get the point in. That Booyah Bomb might be able to allow them to get in. That does do so. They make it down to 26 right there. Very, very nice lead. When I'm talking about staggering, I mean more so in terms of a mentality with this team of one of them will go down, so they'll just wait because they feel like they don't have enough offensive power or ability to get in there. And sometimes you're right in like that, and it's good to recognize that. But other times, especially as we've seen in these last 2 games, it stops them. But right there, they had everything perfectly in the way that they wanted. They were able to get it in. Their S-Boss does go down right there, and Q is forced to jump out. So I don't know if they'll be able to get more than one singular clam in right here. They do still have a lot of eco on the board right there, and they're not letting Onix out right now. They can't afford to go down to that gal right there going out, looking for a couple kills with this Zuka. Q unfortunately misses and gets splatted by the blaster. Double kill by the blaster. Jungle once again running for the Booyah. This is getting, I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu topic, and already Onix is back in their base.
I mean, yeah, it's like we've been here once again. Wildcard with the opportunity to get a massive push. Unfortunately, just a step too slow as Onix. A complete reversal, honestly. Another 2 members down. Q alongside go down. The wipeout with the splashdown. 2 clams is all you need. You see the Stamper has them, and Bonk. Actually, no, Bonk's gonna just finish it off, and just chef's kiss. Honestly, they were down. They weren't even down early. They what happened? They they stopped any push from happening very quickly. I will say they didn't really get a lot of space at the beginning of the game. They did lose mid very quickly. They did kind of turtle up at the beginning, but guess what? They had a couple opportunities. They got the fix they needed at the right time. They pushed in as a team. They got the scoring, and even when Wildcard had an opportunity to kind of come back, just putting the clamps on them basically, and just getting a nice just a nice like 1-2 down, nice team working, nice team fighting, nice special usage, just overall just a very, very good game.
Yeah, no, you got to commend the defense and coordination that we saw right there from Onix. My chain got the rocks. They were, like you said, they got pushed back very early on, but they were able to just not allow Wildcard. They were able to pick them off one by one, push them back, and then move out when they needed to. They weren't. They didn't fall to like any sense of like desperation or like panic. They were able to stay cool, calm, and collected. And their coordination at the end was very, very wonderful. Able to spear like clams to another much quicker than they did in the previous clam game. And it's we'll have to wonder if they keep that coordination as we are about to head into. As finals are selected right here. Wonderful job to Wildcard. Still, you did manage to take a game, and you were very close to taking another right there at the end. Our third place match will be between Dynabow and Wildcard right there. But our finals right here, Pollo versus Onix. My chain got the rocks. I am ready for it as we once again head to Barnacle and Dime Splat Zones.
Yeah, we're going back to, in my opinion, like I said earlier, we're heading back to strawberry ice cream, the map mode. It's good. Like I said, in terms of, so the best way to describe it is in terms of like Smash Brothers stages. It's just like PS2. It's Pokemon Stadium 2 for Splatoon, and you cannot prove me wrong.
No, you're correct. I believe you're the one who first informed me of the Final Destination metaphor for, Zones Haggle. So if you're comparing it to Pokemon Stadium 2, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's even got the two platforms off to the side.
I'm just right. What can I say?
It's been known to happen once or twice, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see what Pollo brings to the table, because they did beat Dynabow. So
that they did,
and they are our number one overall seed. So I expect a very, very close, very, very back and forth type of sets. Maybe even game 5. Who knows?
Yeah, looking at the Twitch chat right now, I'm very happy nobody caught my mispronunciation of Pollo. It never happened. You can't check it. You will never know that I mispronounced that word. You have no proof, none whatsoever. Yeah, and now we get to see the layout of this set right here. Though we start on a very familiar map, it's going to transition very quickly from that, as we got Museum Clams, Splat Zones, Ship Shape, once again returning to Tower Haggle if we make it that far, and ending it with Ramen Zones, which, now I just wanted to go to a game 5 just so we see that.
I could go. I think, I wouldn't be upset. I think game 4 would be the worst option because it's TC Haggle. But other than that, it's pretty good. Oh,
we are seeing some changes right now, folks. Maybe all right, topic.
Yes.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? You didn't actually mention it. You just said it depends on the mood. I want an answer.
Depends on the mood.
You can't be talking about ice cream and not giving me, give me a couple then if you're not going to give me one. Come on.
Depends on the mood.
Brother, okay, well, your ice cream tastes are I'm gonna have to take you to Mako Mart here to just figure out what we want, since somebody isn't telling me what we want. I forget the mall. We're going to Mako Mart. We're gonna go down the frozen food section, and you're gonna tell me what ice cream you want after dinner.
Depends on the mood.
I'm gonna
hit you. I have my happy ice creams. I have my upset ice creams. I have my angry ice creams. Depends on the mood.
If Pollo wins, what type of ice cream are you going to eat?
Depends on my mood.
I'm going to hit you with the engine block that is attached to this roller that I call a main weapon right here. Splat Zone's Mako Mart. How do you feel about the supermarket?
Like in general, supermarkets are pretty cool. A lot of options at a supermarket. You know, they got like fruits, vegetables. They got bread. They got like cooking stuff. They got like utensils. They got like plates. They got like frozen. They got like frozen foods. They got like live lobsters. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that is actually pretty cool. I have to give you that. Do you think that still happens in Splatoon? I don't think so.
Well, are lobsters in Splatoon? Probably.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Larry. I mean, that's SpongeBob.
That is a SpongeBob. How dare you confuse one of our beautiful shop owners for Larry the Lobster? Fake Splatoon fan over here.
He owns a food truck. I forgot his name. Oh,
Krusty Sean. He's not
a lobster though.
He's a crawfish.
Okay.
He's a fried crawfish. He's a tempura crawfish. Wow.
Okay, it's not a lobster though. So.
I mean, same family, just very different animal.
Yeah. So it's not a lobster.
Yeah, no. How do you feel about Mako Mart, the map mode, the zones Mako? How do you feel about that?
You know, okay.
If you say depends on the mood, I swear to God. Lady Luck, help me. Okay.
No, but seriously, I like it. Well, I play Bucket, so of course I like it. I think overall, it's very like, okay, it's less non-offensive than Mako Mart and Barnacle, if that makes any sense.
What?
What?
What do you mean? It's less offensive than Mako Mart?
I said it's less non-offensive.
That's an oxy. You have two negatives in that sentence, so it is more offensive?
No, it makes sense.
You make no sense. I'm going to take you to the cashier and get my cents back because clearly you didn't pay for this ice cream correctly. That's a very interesting comp right there. Paintbrush mixed with a...
Luna?
No, okay. Mixed with a Luna, and those two actually do combo quite well together. I was more so confused by the Paintbrush Pen combo and rounding it out with the Splashmatic. You guys know what Onix Punching Out the Rocks plays. They haven't changed it all set for the most part. Right now, that's a DC. Well, now I have to talk about the supermarket more. Oh no, we witnessed a murder.
There is a murder in aisle 5. Someone please clean this up.
Yep, just two squid or octo kids. I didn't see which ones. Just got brutally splatted right there. No mercy. The Dynamo is traumatized for life having to watch, but they might be able to get a chance to avenge their teammates in this upcoming thing. You know, grocery store Wi-Fi ain't great.
Well, it depends on what grocery you go to.
What kind of grocery stores you go into that have good Wi-Fi?
Depends on the grocery store.
I wish the people could hear how hard I want to like bury my head in this desk because of that. I am having a lot of restraint right now here, folks. We thank you for being patient with us because your patience inspires me to be even more patient because I have to deal with this.
You don't have to.
That's true. I could just leave the call right now. Nah, we got a set to do. I want to see who comes out on top right here because I want to see a Dynamo win SOS as I commentate it because I will live vicariously in that moment through that Dynamo player.
I mean, yeah, I think I'm excited to see because both the teams very interesting comps, right? We were talking about it earlier. Like I like Paintbrush, Luna, and Pen. For some reason, when I first saw it, I was like, that does not make any sense. And I thought about it more. That makes sense. You have not Paintbrush, you have Pencil for the long range damage, and you have both, you have the Splash for, like, you know, Crab, Burst Bomb, just general AoE, and then you have both Pain and Luna to finish up those close range enemies. So, if you think about it more, it makes sense as a weapon.
No, it very much does so, especially with just like all of those weapons are very good at like picking off opponents that are very like at half health or less. You know, because the Splashmatic's got burst bombs, the Paintbrush does, and Luna Blaster you have massive area damage, and the Pencil is just it's Pencil.
Yeah.
And insert One Winged Angel theme here. Veni, veni, venias, neme more fagias. Yeah, so we're going to see how, if it is going to be like a boss fight against Sephiroth right here, as we head into our first game. If we see another unfortunate cleanup on aisle 5, I will be very sad, and I will be calling the manager.
I mean, it looks like so far we are good, and we are good to go. Like we said earlier, both these teams, no changes to their comps, or at least to Onix. My chain got the rocks. We know what they're gonna play. They like it. Pollo, we're gonna see how they decide to play this out against a Dynamo roller.
Already a crab tag.
Yeah, very quick crab, just kind of paying up, rolling over to that left-hand side, kind of get in for, I believe, the Luna as well, getting a pick. Unfortunately, one gonna go down, 2 down on either side. Pollo, however, is gonna have that pen just kind of paint over the zone. You see Yacht just gonna go straight for that Luna blaster, getting a nice double kill. Unfortunately, gonna go down to the Dynamo. So there's a lot of back and forth, and it looks like Pollo will be the ones to ultimately come out on top of that as they get both the zone and the lead here. Possibly, yes, they do.
Yes, they do right there. Forcing a jump out right there. Ripple looking for someone to do. Tacos already hard focusing him down with the crab tank, unable to get the pick though. Knows they need to just put pressure on the right side. Is able to get that pick that they were looking for right there. Just trying to get some burst bombs out, maybe reestablish control of zone right here. They do manage to take Sky, getting that kill right there on Lewis, just the very tip of his head. You were able to see that's 3 down, unfortunately, for Onix, and it looks like that's going to be a delayed wipeout. Beautiful kill by the paintbrushes, the rest of the team forcing them in, and now we just got to see Onix. They're going to be stuck in base for a bit because they cannot push against this pen right here. A whale coming out right now, but mixed with a crab, that's going to be a bit hard to get out on as right now, as they got right side pretty much covered down. But the V-flick, ooh, Bonk is a master of survival, and as a Dynamo player, that's what you need to be right there. 3 down on Pollo, and they retake control.
I mean, yeah, Bonk just kind of perfect timing for that crab to run out so they can get a really, really free pick here. But Pollo not gonna go away that easily. A nice triple kill from the Luna Blaster there. A delayed quad, I give it to them. Able to at least get even more going. Just hold this for me, why don't you? With that hammer throw, and Pollo just fighting back into the zone. You see Onix though are starting to stabilize at least a little bit here, but I think their biggest problem is going to be kind of that Luna plus paintbrush taking a lot of chip damage here, because I think they're going to have a really big problem just staying healthy, because with all these burst bombs, with the paintbrush, with the crab, they're going to have problems taking fights at full HP. You see going straight for Tacos as crab, they're going to go down there as Onix is going to have control of this zone. However, no one's going to be there to defend it until Pollo comes and takes it for themselves.
Yeah, right here, we're just seeing 1 down on the side. That Luna Blaster is down, and it will flip right here for Onix. Bonk looking for somebody to potentially be flanking, doesn't see anybody, decides to refocus the crab and the pencil. Very brave, a lone Dynamo trying to charge a pencil, knows they need to jump out right there. Very, very smart. And once again, Pollo they've retaken zone and they've forced Dynamo onto the left side right now. Wake Up looking for a kill, but not really able to see anything. They're doing a good job of just hurting Dynamo into spots that is very accessible for 1 or 2 of their members to just get some quick cleanup kills right there. 2 down, but unfortunately, and it worked right there. As we see that 3 members go down as Luis was distracted with a 1v1 on right side, and Pollo just continues to hold zone right here. They did lose it for a moment. That's a beautiful kill. Do they get the double? No, the hammer throw is a bit off. That V-flick not able to find any purchase right now, and they're just doing a great job of just stalling right here.
Yeah, they stalled enough to at least get them through their penalty points here, but Onix, though, on this left-hand side with the Booyah Bomb, unfortunately, 2 of them are going to go down before the Booyah Bomb even touches the ground, so Pollo can just kind of collapse on them. Lewis, though, staying alive, able to get 1, though, and neutralize the zone, kind of allowing Onix, the rest of Onix, to get in and get at least something going, some points on the board, some way through their penalty points, but Pollo just fighting through it, just making sure they don't give up too much space. I think it's like what, the 8th crab from Tacos already. That's a lot of crabs, just putting up a lot of pressure, but being forced to roll around because of this flank from Yacht, just making sure that that crab gets no value whatsoever. 40 seconds remaining in this game. We're gonna see if Pollo can just hold on to the zone here, because Onix, they are not giving up. They're trying their best not to give up any space whatsoever.
Yeah, will once again flip over to Onix right there. Ripple knowing that that's 3 members on them right there. That splashdown, unfortunately, is not going to kill anybody either, but it does force members of Pollo back right now as Onix has made it through their penalty points. It make it to 50. They're going to have to go into overtime if they want this to do. Hammer throw looking for like a little bit short, though. Booyah trying to shred through that armor. Doesn't get it and is forced off to the side right here. 1 down for Pollo. This is not what they need as they have made it through the penalty and are working it down to 25 points, 24. 2 down on the side of Pollo. That is not what they need. One more point. It is over. Onix takes the first game by the skin of their teeth, and they stayed calm and collected. They got the ice cream because they decided what ice cream flavor it was, since Topic clearly didn't want any, and they weren't going to let the frozen chicken distract them from taking game 1 here.
You know, I think they're getting the happy ice cream, at least for now. But yeah, the very, very good comeback here. They didn't let themselves get overwhelmed by the missiles at the time, the crab, the splash, and the Luna. They didn't let themselves get overwhelmed. They kind of just dealt with it, basically. They did a really great job of just moving around, making sure they kept themselves as healthy as possible. And now, as we go to game number 2, TC Ship Shape, I'm interested to see if Pollo sticks with what they have here, or decide to switch it up a little bit.
And their comp was very, very unique, and something that I feel could actually very much thrive on Shape. This is not a bad map at all for Paintbrush. Luna is interesting on this map. I feel like you would be better with a bit of a longer range blaster because there's several like long stints in this map. But that Hammer, as we saw right there, they're very resourceful with Ultra Stamina. There are some nutty spots you can get some Hammer throws down on this map, or even just push in with it, though we didn't see too much of that last game. I'm not expecting to see much of a change from Onix. I feel like they know what works. We might see the Stamper player trade off for something else, but I think they're just going to stick with what they got.
Yeah, I agree. Well, yeah, I agree. I think it works really well for Tower. You have Luna, of course. You have Crab. You have missiles. For Onix, kind of the same thing. Like they have what they like. They found what works. They found what works against Wildcard last set. They found what works against Pollo this set, at least in the first game. So I just think it just comes down to game plan. Like, I think the biggest issue, at least for Onix, is that this map, in general, I will say, is kind of slightly favored towards Pollo's, with that pencil kind of being able to go through or see the entire court and have access to the entire court at all times. I think that's gonna be a very much of a challenge. But to kind of counteract that, if you get to that second checkpoint, I feel like the Dynabow just kind of thrives there. You just have that big wall that no one can reach. You send like a shower of ink on the tower, then it's like you cannot stay there.
Yeah, but you have to get through no man's land to do that, and that's where Pen thrives. So we've also very clearly seen that Onix knows how to play against Pencil on maps like that. We saw that in their last set when they played on TC Haggle. The Dynamo was very, very good at maneuvering around the Pencil, especially while on tower right now. Now who knows? Pollo might have some secret technique that will take him off guard, or just, have better aim. But either way, it's gonna be that middle stint of like just trying to get control of tower originally and then get it through first checkpoint to that wall is going to take a hot sec. But we're just gonna have to see what happens right here.
Yeah, both the teams are ready and raring to go. Pollo looking to stop, going down too low.
Double hammer.
Okay.
Double hammer.
Double hammer? Okay, you know what? I'm here for it. Just saying, hey, we're gonna hyperdive plus pencil.
I've seen weirder, and especially last game, and I think they know that they need to keep up the aggression because they might feel that they let off the gas pedal a little too at the end right there, and they were just not able to pick back up steam. But unfortunately, that crab is a little bit out of position to the point where Onix is able to punish it right there. Wake Up just doing their best to build special for Hammer right here. That Booyah Bomb is very, very close, and unfortunately gets picked off, though it does force the pencil back right here. Onix making it to first checkpoint right now. We see the Dynamo just sitting quietly, doing my favorite thing, but they have come to the no man's land pass. But the pencil is countered by Rippling right there. Wonderful teamwork. They make it through the first check, and now it's going to be an uphill battle for Pollo.
I mean, Pollo's just trying to at least get to this top right side here. Lewis gonna go down to that crack. 3 members gonna go down. This Yacht is gonna be the last member remaining, able to make it out alive by the skin of their teeth. Unfortunately, the jumper with the splashdown is gonna get some damage off. Is able to get one. Hold on, Lewis kind of turning that around. 2 down on either side. It looks like Lewis gonna go down. Jumper, I'm sorry, it's nice knowing you. They're gonna go down, and Pollo, after that, they're able to kind of restabilize for now, but like you said at the beginning of the game, they have to keep their foot on the gas because they know if they let up, then Onix is going to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, right now they're just playing for picks in mid. That Zap does have Crab ready. We are going to see it right here. Tacos is able to help maybe secure 1 kill, but 1 down on either side. The Stamp needs to move in. We are going to see it right there. Get some covering fire. Do whatever you need to. Unfortunately, they zagged when you should have zigged, and that's both Stamps go down right here. That is not what you want to see. 2 down on the side of Pollo. And Zap is able to take care of one. Excuse me, Zap Splash. Getting my shooters confused, folks. We are just seeing them stay behind backline, but they can't really do much right now other than pepper them with burst bombs. We do see 2 members peel off, but unfortunately the Dynamo gets picked off by the pencil right here, and just like that, Onix's momentum is cut. They did a great job of drawing attention right there. They didn't jump out when they didn't need to. They held their ground, and that's 2 down again. Onix is staggering. This is not what we want to see right there. The hammer throw from downtown. Are we going to see a second one?
Oh, here we go. You see Wake Up just looking for the opportunity here to throw it, just biding their time. Pollo's going to break through that first checkpoint. Looks like uncontested here. No, it looks like the tower pencil is going to go down. Another one going to go down on the tower. Taco's forced to just slowly roll away and keep themselves alive. Able to get one as a little Christmas present, but 3 down for Onix. It looks like Pollo keeping up that aggressive kind of front, able to make sure that Onix cannot, do what they did for that first push. And so far, it's been working. This in-your-face kind of all-or-nothing game plan now seems to be bearing fruit.
Yeah, now they've forced Onix to be the ones who just sacrifice their life in favor of trades. That's a beautiful Stamp flank right there. Is able to secure the double kill. Even if you do lose your life, you've gotten the lead and made it to second check. That's all you need right here. Right now, you just are trying to hold on for as much as possible. They get down to the last quarter of checkpoint. They make it back to check. They're not moving as much as they can. Both sides just trading right here. Playing the do-si-do. They make it through checkpoint 2. Beautiful work right there, but it is just the pen. But they got what they needed right now. Pollo needs to get out of there. The pencil takes one for the road. Little doggy bag right there, getting some takeout. Bonk. You got 1:15 on the clock. This is very, very doable, but right now you have no range to punish that pencil. You do not want to be deflecting on that tower. You need to get off. The rest of the team jumps back in, and we're once again back in neutral. We're going to need to see some picks before any team gets back in the open here.
Yeah, I'm looking towards that hammer. I'm looking towards that top left side. You see one's gonna go down, one on either side. Tacos in a fight versus Rippling, looking to get this pick, able to stay alive by the skin of their teeth. Lewis, nice pick there.
Beautiful direct.
Beautiful direct. Yeah, able to at least try to start some momentum for Onix here, but unfortunately these hammers and this aggressive playstyle is working really, really well for Pollo here. But we're gonna see if can
Lewis right here, the master of just patient. That is a DC. That's not what you want to see in the last 30 seconds of game. We are having some technical difficulties here, folks, both on player side and on
the DC.
Yeah, no, that's not what you want to see. You're getting a little bit robotic, my friend. I do not want you have to start pulling out my Star Wars dictionary and speaking binary, but that's 2 down on the side of Onix. You hate to see it. That is not how either team, I'm sure, wanted this game to go, but it is. With only 2 seconds left on the clock and a crab on the tower, that game will go to Pollo. It's an unfortunate thing that we have to worry about DCs, and that game will not be replayed. Pollo will take that game, tying the score 1-1. You good, buddy, or am I going to have to pretend I'm C3PO?
Don't worry. Hey, I'm R2D2, so I'm chilling. No, you're R2D2. I'm C3PO.
What the heck? Nah, you were the one speaking binary for a second there, or was I also?
I'm C3PO. You're R2D2. It's been predetermined in stars.
I mean, that means I'm the sassy one and you're the stuck up one. Okay.
Hey man, I'll take it. Listen, everyone loves C3PO. What can I say?
That's true. We do love our king. He's great.
Yep.
He's great. It's, you know, where the kings are commemorated and museums. Museum d'Alfonsino. God, call me a middle-aged white man and how that segue went. Let's go.
What are you, Paul Blart?
Yeah, that was the joke. Museum cop, not mall
All
cop this time.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
The type of sass that only comes from R2D2. Jokes like that, folks. By the way, this just in. For our third place winner, we do have, drumroll please. I hope my mic picked up that drum roll. I don't think it did. Anyway, we have Dynabow taking it over 3-0 over Wildcard, securing their win in third place. Lovely, lovely to see. Congratulations, Dynabow and Wildcard, for your amazing performance this far in set. Back to you, Topic, with as we are about to head into Clan Blitz Museum d'Alfonsino.
Honestly, I hope for no DCs, because like I feel like Onix they had a bit of momentum going their way. Definitely did. Right, they got a pick, they started going, and then it went shimmy shimmy yay, shimmy ya, shimmy poof, and they were gone. Right, so that kind of halted everything that they wanted to do. So at very least, no DCs. Game plan wise, honestly, I think if Pollo sticks with what they had with that double hammer and crab pen, I think it works really well here, because I think crab in general is really good on this map, because you can crab from top mid to the enemy side, and then hammers kind of just take over plat like it's nothing, honestly. So I think overall it can work really well for them.
I mean, the double hammer comp was not something I expected, but it would not be unwelcome on this map. This is a very good hammer map, like you were just talking about, and having one after the other, or God forbid two at the same time, can be very stress-inducing for a team, especially if you're pushed back here on Museum, because this is a very easy map to get steamrolled on.
Yeah, I think what's at least helpful for either team is, of course, how far the top sides are from being camped. So I think if you can take advantage of that, but if you take advantage of that, then your front is kind of wide open. But we're going to see what they decide to go with. Yep, we're going to see Pollo sticking with that double hammer.
The rapid.
With before. Ooh, okay. The pencil killer, or the pen counter. Rapid Rapid Winter, and Bonk. Interestingly, no Dynamo, the Comets, I believe. The Comets brush.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, it makes sense. I was going to just talk about the fact that Dynabow will actually suffer much more against Pencil on this map than we would have seen last time. Bonk looking for a kill, and right now, unfortunately, just a bit out of range right here. That brush will be very helpful, and of course, that Rapid Blaster Pro will be wonderful at getting coolers and taking care of that pen if need be. Bonk forces him off the map and wastes the special. That's what you like to see.
One.
Jukes the second one. How does he do it? He's able to get the double. Bonk is the GOAT. Oh my god.
I mean, staying alive. Shout out Bonk. That was fantastic. Just staying alive, getting Onix at least some space so Pollo can't take plat immediately. Very good there. Unfortunately, their ball is going to die on Pollo's plat, and Pollo looks like kind of recovered relatively quickly, able to just retake mid like it's absolutely nothing. Taco staying alive, getting an assist with the pick there. You see the crab at the ready, probably gonna pop it here. There it is. Just kind of put up the pressure on the plat, able to get one, looking for even more on the backside. You see Rippling just trying to stay alive, stay away from the crab. It is gonna work out, and Pollo is gonna be the first ones to score, but very little follow-up. You see that Tacos has a couple clans to work with. They're gonna go down there. From the other side, the Luna Blaster able to get, no, not even quite able to get another one in. It was just that power plus one clam. So got a question, because now Onix, if they score, they have a free power clam to work with.
Yeah, and for a Bonk right here, just harassing the Splash-O-Matic just to force them back into base right there. Unfortunately, it goes down. Does manage to secure a trade. Pollo looking for another push right here. I wonder if we're going to see the crab go round again.
Ooh.
You know, yeah, right. A wonderful, wonderful thing right there from Yacht, able to just pivot off to the side, just get a little shot in with the Gallo 2-2 and then done. Lewis right here having to back up because they know they can't do anything to push, wanting to get that cooler out, even if they they die. They need that lifeline right here for their team. Great maneuverability onto the wall to try to avoid the crab. That wall might save them, but it missed. They missed the power clam. And with 2 down, that's not what you want to see, forcing the pencil to jump back. Somehow, Onix has stopped that push from happening, and they're looking to get back out here in mid. That's already 1 down on their side, though. They don't need to stagger here. They need to keep that momentum moving, but with Bonk going down right here, and once again, another going down, that's not what you want to see right here. They need to do something to regroup.
Yeah, I think what's working out for Pollo is these consistent flanks from the right-hand side, just having the Wiper, having the Luna kind of drop there, keep Onix on their toes, and so far it's working out because Bonk, once again, trying to go in, but they cannot put all the resources here just yet because they know one might flank here. But Onix, though, may have an opportunity to possibly get to plat. But you see a crab, you see a hammer, you see possibly a second hammer at the ready almost. So Pollo, they have what it takes to kind of defend their plat with their honor. You see Wake Up just going in, able to score behind the backs of Onix alongside the power clam jumper from Sky. 45 points, 42, and Pollo kind of just biding their time. They got the flank off and they profited from that. 33 points on the board remaining, and now Onix in a much deeper hole now.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition right there. They've still got the basket open, getting it down to 30 points right there before 3 of them go down, and already got 6 clams back on deck. I mean, hey, they saw that Onix wasn't committing to a push because they saw how many specials they had. So to just take advantage of the situation, they had one member just sneak up behind, stamp their way in past any defenses, make it into base, and get that ball rolling. And what's cooler, they were able to jump in. But right now, it looks like Onix does have the momentum they need. They have 2 down on the side of Pollo. They're looking to try to get it. They do get 1 super clam in. Are they able to get the second? No, they go down.
No.
That offense is gone. That is not what you want to see right here, as only about 35 seconds left on the clock. Both teams need to play very smart right here. Does Onix have pity? They do, but they need to use it wisely right here. They can't afford to stagger like they have been doing in the whole game, like Dynabow did in their set against them. They need to work together here and take any opportunity presented to them.
Yeah, but you see right here that Pollo just kind of take away his opportunities every time they get. 10 seconds remaining, so if you're Onix, you have to at least start getting the resources to push. You have 2 specials at the ready. You have 3 you have 24 clams at the ready. So if you get in, that is the game here. You see Bonk pushing in with that Kraken to try to force a mistake from Pollo here, just backing up, staying alive. And that crab doesn't be very, very big here. Unfortunately, one's gonna go down. 2, 3 down. Another flank from the Luna Blaster is able to kind of end the hopes of Onix's push. They had everything. Unfortunately, all it took, like I said earlier, a flank from the Luna, got a double or triple kill, and kind of they nipped that at the bud with how quickly that was shut down. And now Pollo, a 2-1 lead, possibly looking to take a 3-1 tourney win.
Very, very possible. Unfortunately, just at the end there, nobody pushed up with Bonk and that Kraken. And hey, I can't blame them. When you have Pencil and a Crab staring you down, you can't. You definitely don't want to be the one to run first across that kill zone that is the floor of Museum D'Alfonsino. But something needed to be done right there. And the one to seize that was not Onix. It was Pollo sending somebody off the flank. I mean, hey, they had 2 wonderful flanks there that secured them to the game. And Onix, if they want to stay alive in this tournament, go to Game 5 and potentially win it all, they need to be able to deal with those flanks and offer their own in return. And what better map to do that than on Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control? Because if they get somebody on VATS, I feel like they might be able to hold it for just a long time.
Yeah, but that's kind of the big question, is if they can get someone on the bats. If they can do that, they can hold really, really well. But on the other hand, if they don't get up to bats, then the second checkpoint is, of course, as we both know, pain
and suffering.
Second checkpoint is pain and suffering for either team. So I think it's very, very important that you get someone up on bats. And I think for Onix, my chain got the rocks. I think like what they got to learn from this previous game. check your flanks, because this map, while it's not as common as on Museum, it's still a very decent flank. It still works. You still get behind the enemy. So I think making sure that you at least acknowledge that someone's flanking is very, very important here, because if you don't, then Pollo can just do what they did game number 3 and just win the entire thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to who gets momentum at the start of the game, because we do see that Onix was faltering a bit whenever they couldn't get an early lead. We saw them sort of in game 1, it was just a lot of back and forth, and they were able to finally secure their footing near the end of the game when they forced Pollo to begin staggering. Tower control, they did have an early on lead, and unfortunately that DC just messed them up. But right there in Museums, they hesitated. They couldn't get in. They need to be aware, and they need to push together if they want to survive here on Inkblot. They need to be aware that somebody's going to try to come up from either side, from either one of the pits on the left or the right, and try to flank around to behind box, and that's not what you want to see. So you need to just be aware, call it out, get your teammate to assist you to pick off anybody who might do that, such as a Luna or a Wiper. I do wonder if we're still going to see the double Stamp comp on this map. I think it's a little less likely. Stamp's not bad here, it's just a little more eclectic due to the varying due to the varying architecture here on Inkblot.
I mean, hey, we're gonna see. Pollo, they got them this far. They might go back to the paintbrush. We will. Nope, sticking with double hammer. They like it. No need to switch for the. Ooh, okay, hold on. From the side of Onix, yeah, those GG strikes from Lewis. That's gonna be very, very big here. Kind of in a do or die moment. Kind of had another special kind of contest tower, but immediately just putting up that aggressive front. You see both the Luna and Wiper. We talked about it last time. Just putting up that that kind of not wall, but that kind of veneer of hey, we're gonna push you and you have to deal with it or else.
Yeah, no, that was less than 9 seconds, by the way, before that trade happened. I just wanted to point it out for folks at home. Right now, we do see Pollo in control of tower right here. They're getting a kill on that flanking gal, and the Pencil just doing their best, not letting anybody stick. A double kill right there from Luna. I believe that's exactly what Pollo wants right here as they make it to the first checkpoint. Double Stamp coming out, secures another 2 kills. 3.
Okay,
what is happening over there? 4. That is a delayed wipeout right there. Pollo, what was happening?
We don't know, but all we know is the outcome is Pollo getting through that first checkpoint. The second one, the Pencil just chilling. They have their book, they have their hammock as well. They're just relaxing on the tower because the rest of Pollo is just kind of cleaning house on Onix right here, getting towards that 3rd checkpoint. Still, Sky has not been contested at all until right now. 10 ticks remaining. They're gonna go off the tower. Just Lewis here on the bucket versus Tacos, forcing Tacos back. Joker's gonna come in here. You see the Luna gonna go down. Tacos is gonna go down, and Lewis single-handedly saved the game, if not the tourney, for Onix here. So now Pollo, you have set the bar very high, and Onix, you have a very, very, very tall mountain to climb. Not only have to get this set to 5 points for me, you have to get through all 3 checkpoints.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if there's any team to do it, I do think it is them, but they need to stop. Ironic, given their team and the team they're going up against, they need to stop running around like headless chickens and feeding into the Pencil right there. I know the flank that you were trying to do right there, and it could have worked, but unfortunately, you didn't have anybody backing you up. Right here, they did make it to first checkpoint right now. Stamp throw, unfortunately, does click the blaster right there. Trying to stay on top right now. That jump is so dead. Oh, never mind. Splashdown! It worked. Yeah, it did. Able to secure 2 right there. Lewis doing a great job just trying to hold out right here on tower. They make it through the first checkpoint. That is what they want to see, but I don't know how they're going to get through this defense, especially when that crab is going to get popped here in a second. Strikes are definitely going to be a big help. Gets one who was a little bit out of position. You should not have charged that blaster right there, my good friend Lewis. And there comes the crab. I don't know what they're going to be able to do about that topic.
I mean, yeah, this crab's just gonna try to, or is going to shut down that push forward. Starts going to get Lewis with a first bomb. Nice job there. It was like Onix. I think they just wait out the crab here. You see, they're gonna be able to break through that checkpoint after that crab ran out. Very, very clutch there. Tacos is gonna go down here. So Pollo kind of gonna be on their back foot, but not for long. You see it. I see it. Hammer is ready. They pop it, gonna throw it probably at the tower, probably next to it. We're gonna see what they're gonna do here. They do throw it at the tower. No one's gonna go down there. Lewis CL is gonna go down as well. Another one gonna go down. 3 gonna go down. It's just Bonk in the uninkable, and they are going to get it picked before going down themselves. So Pollo managed to at the very least, save that last checkpoint. So now, if you're Onix, you see right here, they're kind of doing what Pollo did to them last game. They're keeping this aggressive front up, and so far, it's working out as Sky is now the last member remaining, going from
Yeah, no, they had full control right there.
To keeping Pollo back is fantastic.
Yeah, right now those strikes and the splash down doing their best to try to secure some type of lead, but unfortunately that's 3 down on either side. Lewis, you cannot get on tower while that pencil is looking at you. He's just doing his best to keep the tower from moving backwards and provide cover for his team. That's actually very smart. Keeping the tower where it is just allows it to block the shots from the pen, not allowing anyone to get picked off. 1 down on either side. Lewis, the man, jumping back and forth like it's gym class at the jungle gym during recess right here. Bonk unfortunately does go down. Those strikes aren't going to find as much usage as I think they wanted, but Yacht does manage to get a kill on Wake Up Cow. That's 2 down. They need to work with it right here. Lewis is still alive somehow, manages to get it the 3rd check, and it's just do-si-doing around the tower. Gets another splash down, is able to clear 3rd checkpoint.
Wait, 5 points. It's close.
It's 3 down. It's 3 down. Lewis pushing out with his Sky. They take lead. They took lead. They took the game.
Yo, shout out Lewis CL, dancing around like, ironically, a headless chicken, just staying alive, getting the jumps, just keeping themselves in spots to where their team can come back and jump in. Just wow, just forcing a game, just snatching victory from Pollo. Give them the chain. Give Onix an actual chain for that. That was fantastic, I will say. They went down early. They were what? They were down 6 to 100. They fought back. They kept up with the flanks. They kept the picks coming. They made sure they used their specials accordingly. They made sure that they did not go down to not useless fights, but bad fights. They took better fights as the game progressed, and guess what? It worked out. Just fantastic. But now you have the momentum. All that matters now, it's game 5. It's winner take all.
Mommy zones. I can't say anything about that last game that hasn't already been said. We're back in the Splatlands, back where at the ruins that will decide who takes victory and who will be sent home just with the sting of defeat. Hey, Onix has, like you said, Onix has momentum right here. They need to keep it going. This is going to be a very good map for Dynabow, but also paradoxically a very good map for Penn. It really just depends on which team is able to push the other out faster. No changes from Pollo right there. No changes from Onix. Both teams have their rhythm. They have their groove. It's time to make some beautiful music, create a beautiful storyline right here. Let's go game 5.
Yeah, game 5, I expect Pollo to kind of be aggressive off the start, but no. Both the Viper and Luna kind of taking a step back, you will say, not kind of putting that aggressive front forward. One's going to go down, so no cooler for the side of Onix just yet. No, they do have it, but that one's going to go down here. Pollo just fighting their way in. They got a pick. Now they're going to kind of go off of that. One's gonna go down. No Viper for them, and now it looks like Pollo kind of capitalize on those early picks here as Onix able to pop the strikes, but not able to get any further. Nice shutdown on the hammer there.
Yeah, it's very nice right there. Unfortunately, a second hammer hit the bonk right there, and the 2 down on the side of Onix. They do neutralize the right zone from them. Yacht looking to pressure Sky right there, but unfortunately has to back off and gets picked off right there before our teammate is able to clean up the mess. 2 down on the side of Pollo, but they're quickly back in thanks to Cooler. Onix is just looking to reestablish control of mid right here, and with a splash down and those strikes, they are going to do it. I like to point out that earlier, like you pointed out, we were expecting to see the Blaster and the Splatana move in quickly, but they didn't. They actually baited Onix into thinking that they were actually quite like afraid of either the Dynabow or some other aspect of the team, and was just able to bait all of the members in and get a kill and establish an early lead. But that early lead is now gone, and now Onix is the one in mid strike here. 3 down though, and it looks like with that crab and that hammer, they're going to reestablish control right here, or at the very least neutralize zone, and not let Onix take any more points.
I mean, yeah, so far it's working out. Dynabow, nice pick there onto, oh no, Lula's nice pick onto Wake Up there, just making sure that Viper cannot get anything going. Luna's going to get one before going down themselves. It's very, very back and forth. Onix just keeping that zone. Dynabow on top mid just can keep the zones painted no matter what if you keep them clean. And so far it's working out for them as Pollo is struggling, it feels like, to find their way in. They have these hammers now, which is going to work for now. A very, very nice double kill. Yacht, though, able to just keep it neutralized. Both these teams doing a fantastic job of not letting the other one get too many points on the board too quickly here, as Pollo, 2 members down. Another hammer is trying to hit the zone, not quite able to do it, but Onix, through all of that, is still no penalty points, 25 points away from winning this game. And Pollo, at this point, it's kind of do or die. You have a hammer, you're gonna have a crab, so you're gonna have to kind of force a fight here. You see the Luna just kind of dropping down, 10 ticks remaining on the board. Hammer plus crab.
Something right there.
Hammer's popped out, going from behind, going straight for a bonk, not quite able to get it. It's holding on, splashed out to kind of cap it off. And if you can't believe it, if you can't believe in miracles, whatever you want to call it, Onix, my chain got the rocks. Those rocks better be diamonds with that first place finish, because wow, coming back from down 2-1 after a very, very unfortunate DC to take the set from Pollo. So absolute cinema.
No, they definitely deserve those diamonds, because let's be honest, they did not break underneath the pressure of Pollo. And even though they went down in set points, they were able to come back with the beautiful, beautiful recovery at the end of last game. In this game, they had momentum, and they did not let off the driver's seat. They were quick to recognize and adapt both to both to Pollo's strategy last game as well as their opening strategy this game. And we're just able to, once Pollo revealed their tactics, they were able to sweep the rug out from under them and take a well-deserved victory right there. Beautiful job, Onix. You very much deserve that.
I mean, what else can I say? They swapped over. They had the bucket, kind of that consistent strikes to kind of clear space to allow both Lewis CL and to allow their 52 players into space that they took really good advantage of. They gave Bonk as well the opportunity to just kind of chill for a sec and give them the time to, refill their ink tank and just push forward and just, build cooler. And so far it worked out really, really well for them. Pollo, unfortunately, I think what happened was they just got caught out a lot. It felt like they kept going down. It felt like anytime they tried to force a fight, mainly with the hammers, Onix did a great job of making sure that hammer got very little to no positive usage out of it, and it worked really well in their favor. So just like I said, very great games from Onix. Pollo is just a day late, a dollar short. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunately, the chicken was not on sale today, and they will
it's not at Costco.
No, it wasn't at Costco. We went to Macco Mart instead, and they had a double charge for something. But again, as it says right there, congratulations, Onix. My chain got the rocks, because you are the Swim or Sink 216 champions, and you are dang right that you deserve it. What a game, Topic. What a tournament.
Yeah, what a game, what a set, what a tourney. That I feel like that could have gone either way. It was very, very close, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. But with that, that'll be it from us over at IPL. But we got a couple of housekeeping things to do. So, Jack, where can people find you?
they can find me over at jolty@bluesky.social. Same with Twitter. I am an aspiring voice actor, hoping to get my name out there, but the snow may have killed my momentum. I won't let it shut down my voice right here, because I'm gonna keep being around here at IPL and anybody else that'll have me keep talking about these wonderful tournaments. But enough about me. Topic, my man, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at topical2.bluesky.social. At the, you saw the ad. You have no had internet access. You can find me mainly commentating for IPL, just anywhere in the Splatoon community. That's pretty much all from me. But you can find me in person next Saturday, 21st, at Big Dapple number 9 in Manhattan, New York City. It's gonna be fantastic. It's not the land qualifier in that one. That's the one in April. But this one, still, if you're in the tri-state area, go. It's be very fun. A lot of fun people, a lot of fun events, a lot of really cool things. I think that's it from me. That's gonna be it from me. Of course, thank you to Justin for being our wonderful streamer. Thank you to all the IPL staff in the background, making sure that the tourney runs as smoothly as it possibly did. And with that, that'll be it from us. Jack, any last words?
A final thank you to everybody that played in the tournament, and of course to our lovely audience watching from wherever you are. We appreciate you so much, especially the very hype reactions in those last 2 games. I enjoyed watching them. So glad that you guys are having as much fun as we and the players are. But with that, I think that's all from us. So until next time, we see you, and you better stay above water. Stay fresh.
See y'all.